The following is a presentation of Wareham Gatemen Baseball, brought to you by the Gatemen Baseball Network in conjunction with the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Last summer, the Wareham Gatemen had one of their most successful seasons in franchise history.
Skied out to left field. This ball is way back. See you later. Colton Shaver. Doing pitch. That is rocketing it out to right field. Back goes the right fielder. That one's gone. An absolute bomb to right field for Gavin Sheets.
But despite their regular season success, the 2016 Gatemen were sent packing after the first round of the CCBL playoffs.
Is this ball fair? It is! Crow comes in to score the game's tying run. McKinnon comes in as well. Bourne has walked off, and Wareham's season is over.
Now a new season and a fresh start in Wareham. College baseball's finest are coming from all over the country in pursuit of the Gatemen's 8th Cape Cod Baseball League Championship.
Through the infield, coming around to score is Topa way at the plate, and Metz is safe too. It's a 2 RBI single. 0-1 count on Luke Bonfield, who swings and drives this one deep to left field. That one is into the trees.
Oh no, that's sent right up the middle, past the dive of the shortstop, and in for a base hit. Rounding third, heading home is Bonfield. An RBI single for Robbie Metz.
Off speed, throwing back to first base McIver, and the tag is in time from Sable. Driven out to right center and deep. This one is gone. Tristan Pompey is second of the night, his second 3-run shot.
Chopped in the infield, coming over is Politz. He doesn't handle the baseball. The run scores. The Gatemen win their 3rd consecutive home opener.
It's Wareham Gatemen Baseball, and you're listening to it live on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The sun has finally come out here on Cape Cod, and we've got Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Wareham travels to White House Field in Harwich, Massachusetts to face off against the Mariners in a battle between East and West. Jacob Toby alongside Connor Federico. We will send you to Gatemen Pregame Live, presented by South Coast Health, with our Claudia Chikamian in just a moment. Connor, going back to Wednesday night, the Gatemen lost to the Bourne Braves on a walk-off RBI single by Grant Williams in the 9th inning. How can a team rebound after such a tough loss?
Well, it's a really tough circumstance. I mean, you played a really good game. You came back in that 9th inning, scored a run with Robbie Metz at the plate with 2 outs on a single from Kyle Kasser, and then suddenly you give it up in the 9th after loading the bases with some of your best pitchers. So right now I think that there's a bit of lack of a confidence on this team, both from the hitting perspective, in terms they haven't really gotten it done the past 4 or 5 games, dating back to last Saturday against Falmouth. They really have not put up many runs on the board. And then you talk about the pitching staff blowing that game, not really blowing it, but giving up a walk-off. It can hurt your confidence a little bit. But Justin Montgomery tonight, he's a guy that has plenty of it.
3 rainouts so far this season for the Wareham game, when we saw rain versus Bourne in that game, and then we saw rain yesterday delete the game. And just halfway through the schedule last year, there were only 2 rainouts the whole year. So how does that affect the team in their day-to-day schedule?
Well, now there's only one more off day for the Gatemen, and that's coming up this Monday. The game yesterday, that will be rescheduled for July 31st, which was supposed to be the second to last off day. So, now you've sort of created more like a Northwoods League schedule where you keep playing and playing and playing, and you don't get many off days. But it's what these players are here to do. They signed up to play plenty of baseball. They're missing out on some beach days, maybe they're missing out on some relaxing days, but overall it's going to tax your bullpen, which we've seen from the Gatemen. Even though after last night's rainout they do have a few more arms available, that will help them moving forward. But in terms of the schedule, it's going to be a long haul after Monday. The only 2 non-game days are going to be Fenway Park, and they're going to be the All-Star game. So it's very busy here in the Cape.
And the Gatemen, with Hyannis beating Chatham 3-1 last night, they now sit in last place in the West. Everything's still so close, though, within that division.
Yeah, 24 points for Hyannis, 23 points for Wareham, 25 points for Falmouth, and then 29 and 28 for Cotuit and Bourne. So Cotuit still leads the division. Wareham now in last place, but it's so close. We've been talking about this all year. It's really, these aren't dire circumstances for the Gatemen. They're just fine. A win tonight would really help their cause against Harwich, who's, the worst team in the league.
Both offenses, Wareham and Harwich's, have been struggling as of late. How has this affected each team?
Well, I mean, the Gatemen, they haven't won a game in spectacular style since beating Bourne 13-2 back at Spillane Field. That's a long time ago now, and you really have to find a way to regroup, make the bats come alive. Don Sneddon is doing some different things with the lineup today. You have Willie McIver in at first. You have Jake Anchia behind the plate. He's been a spark plug for this team, and a lot of guys who are in this lineup today: Stephen Kwan, Kyle Kasser, Tristan Pompey, Jaron Duran. They were not even close to coming to the Cape by the time the second game of the season came around and Wareham played here at White House Field against Harwich. So it's a different circumstance for sure. On the other side, the Harwich side of things, this is a totally new team for them. 8 of their 9 batters tonight in their lineup, and the pitcher, Cole Aker, they all either come from an ACC, Big Ten, or SEC school. The only one that doesn't is Matt Vierling, who comes from San Diego State, and the Aztecs, by the way, made the NCAA tournament. So none of these guys come from, even mid-level schools. They're all coming from really great baseball pedigree programs, and they're facing the Division II Justin Montgomery tonight. It should be a really great matchup. Harwich's new lineup of guys from Florida, like Jonathan India, and their 2 LSU guys there, they've been breaking out so far. It's time for them to finally put all the pieces together.
Give me one player on Harwich you will keep your eyes on tonight. Who you locked on to?
It is Jonathan India out of Florida. He's a national champion, and when you have an experience like that, it can really help you, and it's helped him in his 3 games in the Cape so far, hitting 5 for 9. He's drawn 3 walks, and his on-base percentage is nearly 700. So, I mean, this is a guy who, it's his 4th game tonight. He'll bat in the 3 spot against the Gatemen and Justin Montgomery tonight. He's a guy who knows how to play the game right. He's a guy that for sure can do damage against you, hitting the ball to all parts of the field, and also using his legs and his arm over at third base to help him out. So he's a key player in this one moving forward.
Hey, the Gatemen trying to get back on the winning track tonight versus the Harwich Mariners. We will now send you into Gatemen Pregame Live with our Claudia Chikamian. What's up, girl?
Thanks, guys. Welcome to this edition of the Gatemen Baseball Network Gatemen Pregame Show presented by South Coast Health. I'm Claudia Chikamian, and we're ready to go. Like the guys mentioned, the sun is shining. We're gone from the rain is gone, and we're ready for a great game today. So as the guys mentioned briefly, let's talk about that pitching matchup. The Gatemen are sending Justin Montgomery to the mound, and I think that's a very good bet for the Gatemen. He's 3-0 and still has that 0.00 ERA, which is absolutely phenomenal for him, and to see that in the Cape League, that's very impressive. He has 24 strikeouts, just 6 walks, and has given up 13 hits this season. He's coming off not his best start this past Sunday when he went against Yarmouth Dennis. Coach Don Sneddon said, he wasn't extremely pleased with it, and as I talked to him before the game, he said that Montgomery gave him about 80% of his best stuff, and you want to see him give 100% every time he goes out there. So he just hopes he can go out there and pitch just as well tonight. And you know what? He still got the win that night. He still didn't give up any runs, so things are still going well for him. So if he just gets back to his normal stuff, he should be just fine, and we're in for a treat watching him pitch again tonight. On the other side of things, for the Mariners, they're sending Cole Aker to the mound. He's a junior from UNC over in Chapel Hill. He is 0-3 for the season. He has a 4.09 ERA and 1 save also on the season. In 11 innings, he struck out 13, walked 8, and given up just 7 hits. And he struggled also in his last start, or in his last outing. He only pitched a third of an inning. He gave up 2 hits, 3 runs, and did not walk or strike out anyone. So he has some work to make up too. He wants that redemption. He wants to go out there and pitch better for the Mariners, because it didn't go well for him last time. So both of these pitchers going out on the mound today, they want some redemption. They want to make up for their last time they were on the mound, and they want to continue to improve themselves, which is what this Cape Cod Baseball League is all about. And speaking of that, someone else who wants to improve himself is Joey Matulovic, who did not also have his best start on Wednesday against Bourne. And I caught up with him during batting practice to see how he feels about everything going on. I'm here with Wednesday night's starter, Joey Matulovic. So, Joey, you did not have your best stuff on Wednesday night, giving up 7 hits. but you didn't walk anyone. You had your season high 7 strikeouts. So are those strikeouts something that you've been able to see a difference in while working with Lawler this summer?
Yeah, really working on my off-speed pitches. Gotten my it's gonna bring up the strikeouts. Just having the slider and the changeup, definitely.
You also didn't walk anyone. You've done that a few times this summer. You've only walked 3 people this entire season. So is that something you also want to see happening, is limiting those walks?
Yeah, I mean, walking guys isn't always. I've never really walked that many people in general, so that's right around where it should be. I'm happy with 3 walks. That's perfect.
And last time we came to Harwich, it's been a while. You went to the mound. You were also there with Justin Montgomery, who was today's starter. So what do you think you guys can work on or what can happen in today's game?
I think he's going to pitch well. I think it's going to be a good game. We'll get the bats going, and I hopefully pick up a W.
And what have you guys have seen Harwich the most out of anyone on this pitching staff? You both pitched against them when they came for the doubleheader. So what do you know about this Harwich team that you hope the Gatemen can accomplish in today's game?
They like to swing. They're a very aggressive team. A lot of teams out here are aggressive, but they're going to swing. And I mean, if you make your pitches, you can get them out. And
you guys had the game canceled last night, but you're at the field for most of the time. So did you guys get enough prep where it wasn't really a lost day and you feel ready to go today?
Yeah, I mean, guys were getting in the weight room, and we got our throwing in, even though it was a little wet, and I think we're ready to go.
Great. Thanks, Joey. Okay, welcome back to the Gatemen Pregame Show presented by South Coast Health, and that was Wednesday night starter Joey Matulovic, and he touched a little bit on Justin Montgomery, but you'll hear plenty of him for later on. So let's look back at that Bourne game from Wednesday night. So it was pretty close. It took a while to get things started. It was raining Wednesday night, of course. When hasn't it been raining recently here in the Cape? So it took a while to get started, and it took a while for the Gatemen to kind of get heated up. They didn't score a run until the 5th inning, and at that point, the Bourne Braves had a 2-1 lead over them. And it just didn't continue. The Gatemen were able to tie things up in the late innings. In the 9th inning, they scored a run in both the 8th and the 9th inning. Something we haven't seen from the Gatemen often is scoring in those late innings. So getting to see that happen was a big improvement and something that Coach Senna was pleased with. But then bottom of the 9th, things didn't work out. The Bourne Braves came up to bat, and a few errors. Things weren't going too well, and Riley Gates came up to the mound and tried to get that last out, and eventually got it, but it just wasn't the dominant pitching performance from the bullpen that we were expecting, and the Braves were able to walk it off and win that one 4-3. So Gatemen are ready to put that loss behind them. They had the rain cancellation yesterday, so ready to move on to a brand new day. Now let's take a quick look around what's going on in the Cape Cod Baseball League. All the games are in action right now after only 2 games were played yesterday. First of all, in Brewster, the YD Red Sox are visiting them, and Brewster has a 1-0 lead currently in the bottom of the 4th. Let's head over to Catuit. It's at the top of the 3rd inning, and Orleans has a 5-0 lead over them. Something to keep a look on, as Orleans is just continuing to dominate this Cape League. Now we're over to Bourne. Chatham is visiting. Its game just started, and it's scoreless right now, so we'll keep an eye on that. Also in action is in Hyannis. The Falmouth Commodores are visiting. That game also just started. They're in the bottom of the 1st, and they're scoreless. So we will start shortly here in Harwich, and we'll see what else is going on around the Cape. Now we're going to take a quick break on the Gatemen Pregame Show presented by South Coast Health.
When you're sick or injured, you want care when and where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgent-care. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgent-care.
Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen Youth Clinics. The instruction clinics are open to boys and girls between ages 4 and 15. The clinics are a great opportunity to meet and learn from some of the best collegiate players in the country. Clinics are held Monday through Friday, depending on the player's off day. For more information and to sign up your young ball player, visit www.gatemen.org.
All-Star Game Weekend starts with a celebrity softball game on July 21st at McKeon Park in Hyannis. Come watch Jason Veritek, Bill Lee, Nancy Kerrigan, Scott Zolak, and other celebrities play ball in support of the Cape Cod Baseball League and Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital of Cape Cod. Gates open at 4 p.m. For more information and to buy tickets, go to allstarcapecod.org. That's allstarcapecod.org.
Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen High School Clinics. These programs are run by the Gatemen coaching staff with a focus on exposing high school area players to the college game. To sign up for either the hitting, pitching, or catching camps, visit www.gatemen.org for more information.
Welcome back to the Gatemen Pregame Show presented by South Coast Health. Now let's take a look at those lineups presented by Chatham Bars Inn. For the visiting Wareham Gatemen, leading off in left field is Stephen Kwan. Batting second, the DH, Tanner Dotson. Next we have Kyle Kasser at third, and batting cleanup is the first baseman, Willie McIver. In right field, Tristan Pompey. Then catching is Jake Anchia. Batting seventh is the second baseman, Jaron Duran. Then shortstop, Ben Baird. And rounding things out is the center fielder, Nick Angelini. And of course, on the mound is Justin Montgomery. For the Harwich Mariners, leading off the center fielder, Anton Duplantis. Batting second, the catcher, Nick D'Alessandro. Batting third, the third baseman, Jonathan India. The shortstop batting cleanup is Josh Smith. The DH is Kobe Vance. The right fielder, Cameron Simmons. The first baseman, Jordan Verdon. The left fielder, Matt Verling, batting eighth. And rounding things out is the second baseman, Matt Spurt. And the pitcher going to the mound for the Mariners is Cole Acker. Next, we want to toss it over to Don Sneddon, who I caught up with during batting practice. So, Coach, first of all, Justin Montgomery's going to the mound today, and he's seen Harwich both times that you guys have played him. The doubleheader he started one of those games. So you think it's helpful to him that he's seen Harwich and kind of can know what to expect a little?
Probably not, because they have different players now. So the whole lineups has changed completely, so it's just two completely different clubs. So, he's got to come out and pitch his game no matter who's in their lineup or whatever. He's going to throw his game.
And it's been last time he pitched, he still didn't give up any runs, still has that .00 ERA, but you said you weren't too happy with his performance. So what do you want him to get done today so it improves even more?
Well, and he gets a breaking ball over. I mean, he battled, and again, when you pitch, you don't always have 100% of your stuff. So he pitched with 80% of it, and he did well, and that's how you learn to pitch. So hopefully tonight he's at that 80 to 100% and get that breaking ball over.
And it's been a while since you guys have been at Harwich. It was the second game of the season. You guys were last here. Like you just mentioned, it's two completely different teams, but you got that 9-0 win. So what are you hoping you can get done here today with this new team, basically?
Well, again, we're just going to try to jump ahead and then hopefully get to our bullpen and hold it 7th, 8th, 9th inning. We haven't been able to do that so far, so that's the game plan.
And the past few games, you haven't been able to score more than 4 runs. So what did you really work on today to try and improve that?
Well, every day's a new day. We do the same stuff no matter if we scored 15 yesterday or 5 yesterday or 1 yesterday. It's still the same stuff. It's just you got to be a creature of habit. You got to work on the skills that's going to help you in games, hitting the ball opposite field, driving them in the gaps, bunting, hitting runs, that type of thing.
Great. Thanks, Coach. And the Gatemen Baseball Network would like to remind you that you can contact us anytime by emailing pressbox@gatemen.org. Please feel free to send us your questions or comments, and we'll make sure to address them as soon as possible. Also, be sure you're keeping up with all the Gatemen action 24/7 by following the Wareham Gatemen on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud. And now we would like to welcome to the Gatemen Pregame Show our beat writer, Matt Feld. Matt, how you doing today?
What's going on, Claudia? Welcome to White House Field.
We're very excited to be back. So we have the All-Star game right around the corner, basically. So the managers are meeting tomorrow to pick out the teams. So who can we expect, basically, from the Wareham Gatemen that might make an appearance that day?
Well, Justin Montgomery is tonight's starter. He comes into the day leading the league with a 0.00 ERA. Even if we were to give up his first run tonight, I expect him to not only make the team, but I'd be surprised if he wasn't the Western Division starter on Saturday afternoon. I think Griffin Roberts is someone who's definitely in contention to be a second pitcher for the Gatemen. Considering the Gatemen have the best pitching in the Western Division, I'd be surprised if they not get 2 spots. And then, of course, Tanner Dotson leads the league in hitting with a .390 batting average coming into today. He's listed as a pitcher according to the Cable League website, but my guess is he'll be probably in the designated hitter spot and should be a starter as well as my guess. Then Willie McIver and John Topa, Kyle Kasser, they're all over hitting 300 and definitely belong in the conversation in some capacity one way or the other, I would think, or at least be brought up for conversation. So the Gatemen, my guess, get 2, maybe even 3 All-Stars.
I could see it. And also, do you have any top picks basically from anyone else around the league that you could see making the team?
Well, Michael Bikina from Falmouth, I mean, he has 7 home runs on the season. He's either an All-Star or a home run derby participant. You pick Alec Boehm from Falmouth, also one of the top hitters in the league. He comes in today hitting .388. So a couple of Western Division rivals. Zach Susi, the catcher from Bourne out of UConn, he's had a great year. So all around, some tough hitters and some sure Western Division rivals that the Gatemen are familiar with that'll definitely make the roster.
And then, like you mentioned, also the home run derby will be right before the All-Star game. So anyone from the Gatemen maybe that you could see participating?
Well, of course, Tristan Pompey made his name in the NCAA home run derby, but Jake Anchia, 17 home runs back at school, 3 on the season. You have to think that since the Gatemen are hosting, they'll get at least one participant back in 2015 when they hosted the All-Star game and home run derby. Logan Sowers of Wareham won the derby. So I think Jake Anchia or Tristan Pompey, probably Jake Anchia, like I said, 17 home runs back at school, 3 on the Cape League so far. A pretty nice bet to be in that home run hitting contest.
It'll definitely be interesting to see how the home run derby does at Spillane Field. So thank you for your time, Matt. And now we're going to toss it to a quick break on the Gatemen Pregame Show, and we'll get you ready for first pitch.
When you're sick or injured, you want care when and where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgentcare. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgentcare.
Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen Youth Clinics. The instruction clinics are open to boys and girls between ages 4 and 15. The clinics are a great opportunity to meet and learn from some of the best collegiate players in the country. Clinics are held Monday through Friday, depending on the player's off day. For more information and to sign up your young ball player, visit www.gatemen.org.
All-Star Game Weekend starts with a celebrity softball game on July 21st at McKeon Park in Hyannis. Come watch Jason Veritek, Bill Lee, Nancy Kerrigan, Scott Zolak, and other celebrities play ball in support of the Cape Cod Baseball League and Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital of Cape Cod. Gates open at 4 p.m. For more information and to buy tickets, go to allstarcapecod.org. That's allstarcapecod.org.
Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen High School Clinics. These programs are run by the Gatemen coaching staff with a focus on exposing high school area players to the college game. To sign up for either the hitting, pitching, or catching camps, visit www.gatemen.org for more information.
Welcome back out to White House Field in Harwich, Massachusetts. It is the Wareham Gatemen who sit at 11-14-1 versus the Harwich Mariners who sit at 9-16-1. Jacob Toby alongside Connor Federico. Well, we just heard from Claudia Chikamian, our pre-game host today instead of doing the sideline. She's doing both today, so obviously
she's a trooper. She does a great job.
Yeah, exactly. She does it all here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. We like to do it all here. And so the Gatemen, they lost last time here at White House Field 9-0.
You mean they won here 9-0?
Sorry, they don't. I meant they won 9-0.
And it was a convincing win too. They're, you know, the trend we've seen with the Gatemen, the reason they lead the West Division in terms of run differential is because when they can win, they win big. So, I mean, on that day, it was a shutout from a combination of Matulovic and Montgomery, Sam Nepiarski, and Frank German. And then, you know, an explosion sort of day from the offense. At the time, a lot of temporary players, but some guys who are still here, John Topa, Robbie Metz, they had big contributions in that one. So, I mean, Justin Montgomery, that was his first start of the season. And I remember sitting here thinking, oh, no, like, this isn't going to be good, because he loaded the bases twice in the first 3 innings with no outs. but he somehow got out of it. So, I mean, now we're talking about him potentially being the starter for the All-Star game just a week from now. So he's come such a long way. This Gatemen team, they've come a long way. The Harwich Mariners, though, they are going to be looking to win this one in front of their hometown crowd. It's a win they desperately need. They're the only team in the league that hasn't got double-digit wins yet. So, I mean, this is every game for the Mariners is becoming more must-win, must-win. It's sort of becoming the same situation for the Gatemen now with the Hyannis Harbor Hawks on the rise.
Last time these two teams played, it was only the second game of the season, and you said that Wareham got those 9 runs. It was on 16 hits. They did make no errors. You talked about in the open how Harwich's lineup is quite different from the last time the Gatemen saw them. Well, this Gatemen lineup was very, very different in the second game of the season as well.
Right, and now you add guys like Stephen Kwan. You figure out Tanner Dodson's one of your best hitters / the best hitter in the league. You bring in Kyle Kasser, who I don't think we had any idea who he was the last time that the Gatemen were here.
No.
Then Don Sneddon brings him in based on some sort of Facebook connection with another coach. Willie McIver was here for that one. Tristan Pompey, he was playing in the NCAA regionals with Kentucky. You bring in Jaron Duran, who made it to the Super Regionals, and Nick Angelini. So, I mean, this is a stacked lineup through and through for the Gatemen, just like it is for the Harwich Mariners. It's going to be a good battle between Cole Aker and Justin Montgomery today. You know, Cole Aker coming from UNC, had a decent season. He's 0-3 in the Cape League this year, trying to prove himself, trying to get that first win. He needs some run support from his Harwich teammates, but run support in the past couple of days is something that both the Gatemen and the Mariners have been struggling to find.
Umpires talking with the coaches at home plate. They just exchanged batting lineup cards, and you talk about yesterday how difficult it was with the rain and everything like that. How difficult is it on Gatemen management to sort of deal with the struggle of having to reschedule and look at the field and kind of delay everything?
Well, I mean, when we looked at today's lineup, it's the exact same lineup as what was going to be last night, with the exception of Justin Montgomery becoming the starting pitcher instead of Mason Fioli. We're not sure we might see Fioli later tonight, just depending on, you know, how the arms go. But if anything for this Gatemen squad, this is a helpful thing because you have more arms ready than you did yesterday.
Keys to the game. Give me 3 or less, whatever you have. How can the Gatemen win the game tonight?
I'll give you one.
Give me one, yeah.
And it's going to be good pitching from Justin Montgomery. I mean, he has been lights out so far, literally. A 0.00 ERA. I mean, that is otherworldly for the Cape League, where we talk about how great the pitching is. Well, I mean, this is considered the best collegiate league in the country for all sorts of players, including hitters. And he has seen some really good lineups, including this Harwich lineup, and he's shut them all down. 3-0 record, the best of any Gateman. Those 3 wins among the top in the league. You know, people are looking at Montgomery and talking about his control on the fastball and the changeup and the breaking ball and saying, man, this guy doesn't blow you away with power. He does it with his command. He does it with his smarts. You know, Jim Lawler and Don Sneddon, they don't tell their pitchers what to throw. They can only hope to coach them before the games and throughout the summer and guide them to make the best decisions they can. Montgomery, really high baseball IQ, and he constantly just gets the job done for the Gatemen. I think if he pitches well today, if he gives you 5 innings, if he gives you 5 solid innings, and then you leave it up to the bullpen, the Gatemen will be just fine. They are going to get some runs in this game.
And if you're talking about pitching coach Jim Lawler and the All-Star game, he's going to be pretty happy with the outcome probably coming after tomorrow night.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, plenty of Gatemen heading that way.
Send it to the national anthem right now here at White House Field in Harwich.
Harwich resident Rebecca Riley.
Broad stripes and bright stars
All right, if you're just joining in, welcome to White House Field in Harwich, Massachusetts. Jacob Toby alongside my man Connor Federico. The Wareham Gatemen coming in tonight, sitting at 11-14 and just 1 point behind the Hyannis Harbor Hawks in the Western Division. They are in last place. The Harwich Mariners are also in last place. They are in the Eastern Division, sitting at 9-16 and 1.
Yeah, it's an important matchup for both of these teams tonight. I mean, you really want to get a win. If you're the Gatemen, move up to 12 wins on the season. Hope that Hyannis maybe drops tonight. They're on a 2-game winning streak, so that's the tops in the Western Division right now. The Gatemen coming off that loss to Bourne. This would be a really nice bounce-back victory for them against a team they know they can beat. Cole Aker, haven't seen him yet, but you know about him based on what he's done at UNC.
Take a look at the Wareham starting lineup. Stephen Kwan will lead it off. He is in left field. Tanner Dodson, he's the DH. He bats second. Kyle Kasser is at third. He bats third. Willie McIver, the first baseman, bats fourth. Tristan Pompey in right field today bats fifth. Jake Anchia doing the catching. He bats sixth. Jaron Duran, the second baseman, bats seventh. Ben Baird, the shortstop, bats eighth. Nick Angelini rounds out the order in center field. He bats ninth. Taking a look at the defense for the Harwich Mariners, Jonathan India is the third baseman. Josh Smith, the shortstop. Max Burt at second. Jamie Verdon at first. Left to right in the outfield, Matt Verling, Anton Duplantis, Cameron Simmons, Nick D'Alessandro doing the catching for one Cole Aker.
Chilly night here at the ballpark, Jacob, and that's going to, it's going to have an effect on both of these teams in terms of hitting. You know, it's not as bad as it would be at school when you're hitting with an aluminum or a metal bat, but here in the wood bat, still affects you a little bit, and it affects your arm out on the mound. 66 degrees at first pitch tonight, which is definitely a low in the month of July for one of these Cape League games. Humidity dropped down to 80%, so that helps a little bit, and then, only a slight wind blowing out towards the outfield tonight, so nothing that's going to affect this game too much. But it is a cold night, not something that these players are expecting. We'll see how it affects the game moving forward.
Of course, the Wareham Gatemen coming off that 4-3 loss at Bourne Wednesday night, and Harwich coming off a 7-3 win at YD on Wednesday as well. So Stephen Kwan, the left fielder, will step in. Umpires for this evening's game, Rick Emerson is the home plate umpire.
Leading off the game for the Gatemen, the left fielder,
John Digger Alamo is at first base, and Mark Ottovianelli is the umpire at third. Kwan batting .412 so far, no home runs and 8 RBIs. Facing Cole Aker on the hill, the right-hander. First pitch, fastball missing up high. We are underway.
And Kwan shows bunt, as he does to start off pretty much every game.
Kwan hitting .429 as the leadoff hitter. Second pitch in for a strike from Cole Aker. Aker 6'2", 195 pounds, throws from the right side at a UNC. Just finished up his sophomore season. The righty delivers the 1-1 outside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, Kwan's been really good at the top of this Gatemen lineup. They need him to get on base early, however he can, walk, base hit.
Here comes the 2-1 from Aker. And a fastball taken for a strike. The count even. 2 balls and 2 strikes just underway here at White House Field. No score, top of the first. Aker's 2-2 is a high chopper in the infield. The second baseman, Burt, will not be able to throw it. Bounces off his hand, and Kwan reaches at first base.
Yeah, high chopper pretty much means success automatically for Stephen Kwan. I mean, there's so many great defensive players here in the Cape League, but that's all you really need Kwan to do. Hit a high chopper like that. It gets over the pitcher Aker's head. Then a tough play for either middle infielder. He's got so much speed, and he's definitely a guy you want on first with nobody out to lead off this game.
Tanner Dodson, the DH, will take it from the left side. Coming in as has the highest batting average in the CCBL, hitting at .390. No home runs, 8 RBIs. First pitch is low for a ball. 1-0, and they do count that as a hit for Stephen Kwan.
As it should be. I mean, I think even if Burt, the second baseman, had fielded that cleanly, it would have been a really tough play over there at first. Probably would have been an infield single anyway.
So Kwan, the runner at first. Here comes the 1-0. And Dodson takes ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, this is where Dodson is very dangerous with that hitter's count. We can see him slap the ball the other way, pull it in the infield for maybe a base hit between the second baseman and first baseman.
Kwan fakes going. Dodson fouls it straight back. 2 balls and 1 strike.
We've seen Dodson be very successful on the hit and run, no matter if he's batting from the left side or from the right side. We haven't seen it much with Stephen Kwan ahead of him, but before Stephen Kwan arrived and Kyle Kasser and Jaron Duran were sort of splitting time in that leadoff spot, we saw it work successfully for the Gatemen several times.
2-1, runner goes. It was a swing and a miss. Throw down at second is in time. Shortstop Josh Smith putting the tag on Stephen Kwan. He's retired for out number 1 on the base paths.
Yeah, good throw by Nick D'Alessandro. It was just a little to our right of the bag, and the tag was put down pretty easily by the shortstop Smith.
2-2 pitch, up and in to Tanner Dodson. Now the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, if Dodson walks or gets a hit here, you're definitely going to regret that move with caught stealing from Kwan.
Aker winds, kicks, and deals. The 3-2 inside, ball 4. Dodson goes down to first base with a walk.
Yeah, I mean, that just turns the situation from 1 on and 1 out to, you know, possibly 2 runners on and nobody out for Kyle Kasser, and then Willie McIver after him. But Dodson, he might also try to steal a base. We'll see. Maybe a hit and run on here. Kyle Kasser, he's been good at that too. You know, when you ask him to put the bat on the ball, he's going to do it.
That's Tanner Dodson's 10th walk of the season. He is second on the team, just behind Willie McIver. Kyle Kasser will also bat from the left side, so 3 straight lefties to face Aker here for the Wareham Gatemen lineup. This one bounces to the plate, blocked nicely by D'Alessandro. 1-0. Kasser 308. No home runs, 6 runs batted in.
And he had 3 of those runs batted in his first 3 games as a Gateman, so production has slowed down as of recently in terms of getting guys to touch plate.
Dodson, the runner at first. The 1-0 is sent right past the third baseman, India. Couldn't even stretch out the glove for it on a liner, and it's first and second with 1 out.
Yeah, really good start for the Gatemen. I mean, Cole Aker hasn't retired anybody at the plate yet today. You have a base hit for Kwan, then a walk for Dodson, now another base hit. You have a runner in scoring position. These are the opportunities for the Gatemen that they need to start to convert. That would be the difference from the last couple of games and maybe today if you decide today's going to be your breakout day offensively.
Gatemen wearing their blue uniforms with blue shirts, gray pants, and red numbers. Willie McIver will step in the first right-handed batter to face Cole Aker. Harwich in their red uniforms, red shirts. What did we call those colored pants last time we were here?
I think you correctly called them cream.
Cream.
And I was going for a beige. They're definitely cream.
Beige, cream-colored pants here at White House Field. McIver with 1 out. Runners on first and second, no score. Ball 1 thrown by Cole Aker. McIver, 341, 2 home runs, 15 RBIs. And comes in first in the league in stolen bases. He is at the top of a lot of statistical categories. 1-0 is swung on and missed on a breaking ball.
D'Alessandro right now doing a great job behind the plate. I know we're only through 3 batters in the first inning, but he's blocked a bunch down in the dirt that could have easily gone by him. He threw out the only out of this inning in terms of Stephen Kwan. If that hadn't happened, the bases would have been loaded. Possibly talk about Stephen Kwan scoring, so he's been great right now behind the dish.
Dodson at second, Kasser at first, and McIver fouls this one off to the right and out of play. He's down in the count, 1-2.
Yeah, 2 straight curveballs now from Cole Aker. Both down in the zone. McIver, he's probably looking for a fastball, but he might not get it.
McIver coming in tied 5th in the league in hits with 31. Runners at first and second, the 1-2. Fastball away, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, so far all of these Gatemen hitters have done a good job of stretching out the count and making Aker work. Now you have a pitch count that's over about 10 or 12, and you only have 1 out here in the first inning. One of the Gatemen's best hitters, one of the league's best hitters at the plate.
Aker gets the signs from his catcher, looks back Dodson at second. Here comes the 2-2. Off speed, sent foul, and out of play down the right field line. Will do it again.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Just, you know, even on a good pitch, curveball on the outside corner that might have gotten him looking, not one that he would have been able to get a hit off of either. He just sort of fouls it off and will do the 2-2 again. I mean, that's got to be driving Aker crazy.
Tanner Dodson walked and then reached second on the single from Kyle Kasser. 2-2 pitch, fouled off again above our heads, and the count still remains 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Tanner Dodson and Kyle Kasser definitely getting a little antsy over there on the base paths right now. They want to try to advance, score some runs early in this ball game for the Gatemen. If they can do that, you give Justin Montgomery a bit of a cushion early. That's really all he needs to close the door and, you know, help the Gatemen win.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 runners on with 1 out and no score in the top of the first. Aker looks back Dodson. Here comes the pitch. It is outside, and the count is now full, 3-2.
Yeah, and Aker's already walked 1 in this inning, and Tanner Dodson, he stands on second right now. The other 2 base runners in this inning were singles. So you come 1 pitch away from loading the bases, but you're 1 good pitch away from getting 2 outs in this inning.
Aker comes the 3-2. It was off speed, fooled Willie McIver. He goes down swinging for out number 2.
Yeah, good pitch by Aker right there. It was that curveball again for the first time in this at bat. He throws it in the zone. It started at about Willie McIver's belt level, and it just crosses the plate on a swinging strike from McIver around his knee level. Really good pitch right there. Now you try to do the same to Tristan Pompey, another lefty in this lineup. So that righty in McIver was the first that Aker got to face, and the first one he retired.
Here comes Tristan Pompey, 185, 2 home runs and 8 RBIs. Takes a fastball up and away, 1-0.
Yeah, Pompey, after his really good night to start off the summer with the Gatemen, he fell off a bit, struck out swinging a lot, struck out looking a lot. You know, just popped out a lot. Now he's done a much better job of getting base hits, putting the ball in play.
Pompey batting from the left side. Here comes the 1-0 from Aker. It's inside. He turns away, 2-0.
Yeah, and the pitchers who've been successful against Pompey have sort of been pitching him on the outside corner. Right now, Aker's going inside on him. I think Pompey's prepared to hit on both sides of the plate right now.
Aker's 2-0 pitch to Pompey. Down the left field line, foul. Maybe just spun off that third base bag.
Yeah, it was very close. I mean, that definitely wasn't a good piece of hitting. He was out ahead of that breaking ball, and he just got the end of the bat on it and just slapped it the opposite way. Could have been a single down the line, but foul line robs him of that.
Tanner Dodson at second, Kyle Kasser at first. 2 outs in the top of the first. No score. 2-1 pitch is outside. And now a great hitter's count here for Tristan Pompey. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, and if Aker ends up walking Pompey, you have Jake Anchia on deck and his 3 home runs, plenty of RBIs, good clutch hitting for the Gatemen. I mean, 2-out hitting is where the Gatemen have shined in recent weeks. Can they do it here?
Aker looks on. The 3-1 pitch to Pompey is sent into center field for a base hit, rounding third and trying to score is Dodson. He will do that, and the Wareham Gatemen have taken a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first.
Well, isn't that exactly what the doctor ordered for the Gatemen right there? 2-out hitting. Tristan Pompey, he sends that pitch over the plate exactly where it came from. The pitcher, Cole Aker, ground ball right over the pitcher's mound, and the middle infield had no shot of getting it. It was too well hit. Great work by Tristan Pompey. And the Gatemen, they still are threatening in this inning. You have Kyle Kasser at third now, Pompey at first. We might see him take off. Anchia at the plate, great hitter. 1-0 lead. That's exactly what you want for Justin Montgomery.
Jake Anchia, 220 on the year, 3 home runs and 9 RBIs. Runners at first and third with 2 outs in a 1-0 lead for Wareham over the Harwich Mariners. Breaking ball taken for strike 1. Anchia with runners in scoring position and 2 outs is hitting .333.
And that's exactly what you want to see. I mean, somebody who can come through in the clutch. That's what the Gatemen have in terms of Anchia.
Akers 0-1. Sent on a pop-up to shallow right center field. Coming in is the center fielder Duplantis. He puts Anchia away to end the inning. So the Gatemen get a run on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on. They lead it 1-0. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
When you're sick or injured, you want care when and where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgentcare. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgentcare.
The Down East Lobster Roll combos are back at the 99 restaurants. Visit today in Centerville, Falmouth, Mashpee, Wareham, or Yarmouth for the best value for lobster rolls on the Cape. The 99, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Back at White House Field, the Wareham Gatemen have a 1-0 lead over the Harwich Mariners. Let's run through the Mariners starting lineup. It is Anton Duplantis leading it off. He's the center fielder. Nick D'Alessandro is the catcher. He bats second. Jonathan India, the third baseman, bats third. Josh Smith at shortstop bats fourth. Kobe Vance, the DH. Cameron Simmons in right field. Jamie Verdon, the first baseman, bats seventh. Matt Vierling in left field bats eighth. Max Burt, the second baseman, bats ninth. And the Gateman defense goes like this. Kyle Kasser is at third. Ben Baird, the shortstop. Jaron Duran at second. Willie McIver at first. Left to right in the outfield. Stephen Kwan, Nick Angelini, Tristan Pompey, and Jake Anchia doing the catching for Justin Montgomery.
Yeah, and that defense behind Montgomery, it's a really solid one. You know, the Gatemen, they've had their games where they do give away a couple errors, but for the most part, they're great. You know, they're in the top 4 in the league in terms of defensive efficiency. They are really solid, and, you know, you have McIver at first today and Anchia behind the plate. Baird, a great defensive shortstop, and Duran, they're going to be a great middle infield duo. So a lot of confidence in Montgomery.
Montgomery fires in strike one to Duplantis, who is 8 for 20 so far. 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, a returner from this 2016 Mariners roster.
Yeah, and returners so often have a lot of experience.
0-1 sent to the second baseman, Duran, and he retires Duplantis for out number 1.
Good quick work there for Justin Montgomery. I mean, 2 pitches and you retire the first batter in Duplantis, who we talked about is dangerous. So this game for the Gatemen, it's going well for them so far. I mean, you get your first 3 batters on base and you retire the first Mariner batter. That's a good sign.
Montgomery, first pitch swinging is Nick D'Alessandro, fouls that one off and out of play. 0-1, 304, no home runs, and 6 RBIs for D'Alessandro.
Yeah, he had that great play in the top of the first inning, throwing out Stephen Kwan, blocked a lot of balls, so tried to do it with his bat, too.
0-1, rides inside on D'Alessandro, 1-1. Montgomery at a Cal Baptist, 6'6", 200 pounds, throws from the right side. Fires the 1-1. This one out to center field and in for a base hit. D'Alessandro is going to think about heading to second. He will stop at first. And probably the best decision there for Nick D'Alessandro.
Yeah, you got Angelini out in center field who fielded that one. He's got a good arm, fired it on a line to the second baseman, Duran, who was the cutoff guy in that situation. So, you know, Montgomery gives up a hit. Don't forget, this is the same guy who loaded the bases twice in 3 innings with no outs. So he can work into a jam. It doesn't mean you're going to score off of him.
Jonathan India, a newcomer here for this Mariners squad, takes a pitch down low for ball 1. Is 5 for 9 with 3 walks in his short stint with the Mariners so far. D'Alessandro, the runner at first. 1-0 is low as well. 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, India coming from Florida. Really interesting outfit combination. He's got those bright green neon cleats to go with his Red Shirt Friday outfit for the Mariners.
The righty delivers the 2-0. That pops in for strike 1.
Yeah, and that's the key for Montgomery. Throwing first pitch strikes. He didn't in this at-bat, gets behind 2-0, but he can work himself back into this at-bat with that last fastball, maybe something off speed here to fool India.
2 balls and 1 strike is the count. This one, a breaking ball missing outside. 3-1 with a runner on first base. 1 out in the bottom of the first. Wareham is up 1-0 in this one. India bats from the right side. He is at the plate now. 3-1. In for a strike. D'Alessandro kind of motioned toward second for a moment.
Yeah, he's not exactly a threat to go. He is a catcher, and usually catchers are not threats to steal unless you're Willie McIver or Blake Sable.
Montgomery's 3-2. Is inside and low, says Rick Emerson, the home plate umpire. Sends India down to first, so 2 on and 1 out here for Justin Montgomery.
Yeah, and the dangerous Josh Smith at the plate right now. This is definitely a tricky situation for the right-hander who has not given up a run all summer. And, you know, he did work himself into some trouble here, and he didn't get the win on that occasion because he went 3 scoreless innings, but the Gatemen didn't score their first couple runs into the 5th, the last game against Harwich. So, I mean, coming back to, you know, a place where you've pitched before and pitched decently well has got to help.
Josh Smith, the shortstop, with runners on first and second, takes strike 1. Smith is 7 for 17. No home runs and 2 RBIs. Again, he's on a short stint so far with the Mariners, like a lot of these guys you were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, they just get here and want to help out the Mariners as fast as they can.
0-1, falls in for a strike. It's 0-2.
Well, here is where Montgomery is dangerous. We talked about his high baseball IQ. He calls his own game just like all these Gatemen pitchers and catchers do. He can go at you high fastball. He can throw you that breaking pitch down low.
Montgomery looks back to D'Alessandro at second. Not once, but twice, and then looks back over, fakes to throw. Sliding back is D'Alessandro safely.
Yeah, D'Alessandro really messing with Montgomery right there. I mean, all you can be worried about right now is your 0-2 pitch. You know, there's a lefty batter at the plate, so D'Alessandro, it would be a mistake for him to try to take third.
Smith, the lefty, awaits the 0-2, and it drops in for strike 3. Montgomery gets his first strikeout of the outing. That is out number 2. That strikeout is brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard.
Just a really good sequence of pitches by Montgomery. You get the first pitch for fastball called swinging strike 1, and then you get called strike 2, called strike 3 on the breaking balls that they look like they're going to start in the zone, and maybe the hitter's thinking, oh, it's going to fall out of the zone, but it never does. So really good job by him.
Kobe Vance is the batter, swings at a fastball up high. 0-1. Vance, 289. No home runs, 11 RBIs. He's the lone Mariner that stands in enough at-bats to qualify into that batting title race, even though he's not in the top 10. He's the highest Mariners hitter, 289. He takes strike 2 quickly, 0-2.
Yeah, and Vance is a really tough out because he stands 5'8". He's already drawn 8 walks this summer, but Montgomery, he's really locating well right now. That fastball just caught the bottom corner of the zone.
Runners on first and second, 2 outs with a 1-0 lead for Wareham. Here comes the 0-2. Chopped to the third baseman, Kasser. Throw to first. It's low, and it gets by the first baseman, McIver. D'Alessandro's going to score. Stopping at third is India. To second is Vance. And just like that, this game's tied up at 1 apiece.
Really tough play for Kyle Kasser there. He says my bad to Justin Montgomery, who now gives up a run, but not an earned run. That's definitely going to be an error in some way, shape, or form. It's going to be an E5 on Kasser, and you know that it was a high chopper. He knows Vance has some speed, so you got to try to get the ball over as quickly as possible, but out of reach and low of Willie McIver.
Cameron Simmons, the right fielder, will bat with runners at second and third. Montgomery delivers the first pitch, and it's in for a strike, 0-1.
So because of that error, that would have been the third out. If Montgomery gives up a couple more runs here, none of them will be earned.
0-1 from Montgomery is low. 1-1, of course, comes in with a 0.00 ERA, leading that ERA title chase.
Yeah, I mean, even if he does give up a couple earned runs, it would still be below 1.00.
1-1 is low for a ball. Jonathan India is at third. He walked. I think Kobe Vance reaches on the error. He's now at second base. Harwich has tied this game up at 1 apiece here at White House Field in Harwich, Massachusetts. Cameron Simmons, the batter, awaits the 2-1, sends this one into the left field. India is going to score. They're going to send the second runner, Vance. There won't even be a throw home. 2 more runs score. And it's 3-1 Mariners.
Well, that's really frustrating if you're Justin Montgomery. You give up a good hit to Cameron Simmons coming out of Virginia, who had a good year. He's, been a guy that Harwich can rely on, and two out base hits, 2 out RBI base hits. I mean, for both the Gatemen and for the Mariners in this first inning, that's helped the Gatemen and hurt them as well here.
Jamie Verdon, the first baseman, takes strike 1 from the left side from Justin Montgomery. Verdon 240, 1 home run, 11 RBIs. Cameron Simmons is at first with 2 outs in the inning and a 3-1 lead. Simmons will go down to second. The throw is late from Anchia. And a stolen base for Cameron Simmons.
Yeah, Harwich's offense really coming alive right now, sort of taking advantage of a rattled Justin Montgomery in this Gatemen defense. On that play where Jonathan India and Kobe Vance scored on a Cameron Simmons 2 RBI single out there in left, Quan bobbled the ball a little bit and just couldn't field it cleanly.
Montgomery's 1-1, delivered low to Verdon, 2 balls and 1 strike. So another runner in scoring position here for the Mariners early on in this one. Cameron Simmons steals second base. 2-1, a check swing. Half-hearted one at that. Does go around 2-2. Montgomery awaits the signs from his catcher, Anchia. Runner on second. 2 outs. This one is sent up in the air. Right fielder Pompey coming in. He'll call off his center fielder, Angelini, to make the catch. And the side is retired. Not before the Harwich Mariners take the lead. They get 3 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 man left on. They take the 3-1 lead here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Listen to the game wherever you go with the Next Radio app. Catch this station's local broadcast or stream all the action right on your phone. Visit the Google Play Store and download the free Next Radio app today.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1991, holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 through 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, plus 400 have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Friendly's Restaurants, a timeless tradition since 1935, is proud to be the official ice cream of the Cape Cod Baseball League and bring together 2 of America's favorite pastimes, baseball and ice cream.
Offense coming out early at White House Field in Harwich. A 3-1 lead for the Mariners over the Wareham Gatemen. Jacob Toby along with Connor Federico.
Well, you get all excited for what the Gatemen do in the first inning. They have an RBI 2-out hit from Tristan Pompey. And now, the Mariners have a 3-1 lead.
Jaron Duran swinging a miss on the first pitch from Cole Aker, 0-1.
I'd argue that Justin Montgomery pitched a much better first inning than Cole Aker did, but right now he's the one with the run support and in the driver's seat.
Duran, 241, no home runs and 4 RBIs. Quickly takes strike 2. Harwich did not play yesterday, just like the Gatemen. Only 2 games were actually played yesterday. 0-2 is a breaking ball, sweeping away, 1-2.
Well, in the meantime, the Hyannis Harbor Hawks play. They get a win, and now they're in 4th place instead of the Gatemen. And maybe it's time to hit the panic button a little for Wareham. Being in that cellar is not a spot that any team wants to be.
1-2 to Duran, sent foul down that third base line. Past Jimmy Francos, who's coaching third over there for the Gatemen today. And for every game.
Yeah, that was Don Snedden's job last year, and now he's the manager. I mean, Snedden has a lot more experience than Jimmy does over there at third.
Here comes the 1-2 from Aker. And Durant fights it off to the left. It goes out of play into the woods.
Jimmy Francos just a couple of years ago was a great catcher for the University of Iowa, an all-Big Ten pick, and helped the Hawkeyes to an NCAA tournament appearance. So he's got some baseball and hitting and catching background. He's really been helping the Gatemen.
Akers 1-2. Will go out of the glove of D'Alessandro to the backstop. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Franco, he's not really that far removed from that success.
No, I mean, he's a very young guy. So is Sean Callahan over there coaching first base. And you mix them in with, some of the older, more experienced guys. Don Snedden, Jim Lawler. Great mix on this staff.
Akers 2-2. Duran thought about going around. They're going to check over at third, and Mark Ottavianelli says no, he did not. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the Wareham second baseman.
Great discipline by Duran. I mean, his shoulders looked like he went around all the way, but somehow the bat stayed put completely.
Akers 3-2 is outside. Ball 4. Duran goes down to first base. That is the second walk of Akers' outing.
Yeah, sort of surprising. He gets ahead in this count 0-2 to start off the top of the second inning, and he ends up walking Duran similar to how he walked Tanner Dodson. So getting leadoff guys on, the Gatemen have now done that in both innings, and Duran has plenty of speed.
That is Duran's 8th walk of the season. He's on first base. Ben Baird, the shortstop, will bat from the right side. And swing at the first pitch. Out to center field. Coming in is Duplantis. And he will make the catch. On his horse coming in. Covered a lot of ground. Called off the shortstop. Smith makes the catch for out number 1.
Well, he just finished off his, quick sprint into a little jog. He came all the way to second base. Yeah, for sure. A lot of ground to cover for a center fielder. Make the catch. And, I don't think Ben Baird should have been swinging at the first pitch on that occasion. Maybe you wait a bit, see if Jaron Duran can steal a base, see if you can bunt him over. Now scoring Duran becomes a little more difficult.
A check over on Duran. He's back safely. The pitcher today, Cole Aker at a UNC, just finished his sophomore season. He's facing Nick Angelini, the center fielder for Wareham. Takes a breaking ball in for strike one. Angelini, 206, 1 home run, 4 ribbies.
Well, not a regular in the Gatemen lineup, but when he does play, I mean, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, he really can have an impact, both defensively and at the plate.
0-1, just inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Aker making his 8th appearance for the Harwich Mariners, and this is his first start of the season.
Yeah, that 0-3 record has to be frustrating.
Gets his signs, delivers the 1-1. Check swing by Angelini, and he does go around 1-2. Aker, a 4.09 ERA in 11 innings. 13 strikeouts and 8 walks here on the Cape. Make that 10 walks coming in to this game today. 1-2 is inside on a breaking ball. Sweeping and missing. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, now Duran has watched the motion of Aker enough that he can probably figure out how to get a good jump off this guy, but you do need to be scared of Nick D'Alessandro behind the plate. He's already thrown out.
2-2. And Angelini was caught looking for the second out of the inning. That's the second strikeout for Cole Aker, 2 gone.
Yeah, and that's a really good pitch. First looking strikeout of the evening for Aker. That one, fastball that just clipped the bottom of the strike zone around Angelini's knees. And Stephen Kwan, he's 1 for 1 today. You know, a shot into the gaps or maybe down the lines could score Duran.
Harwich up 3-1 here in the top of the second. They are hosting the Wareham Gatemen. Stephen Kwan at the plate. Duran's going to go on the first pitch. Throw down to second base is in time. Duran is caught stealing. Second time Nick D'Alessandro has thrown out a base runner. And that will end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, no men left on. The Gatemen trail the Harwich Mariners 3-1. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
We appreciate and thank the sponsors who support the Cape League and the 10 teams. Our corporate sponsors are the financial backbone of the league. It is with their support that we are able to preserve our long-standing tradition of providing the best family entertainment here on Cape Cod. On behalf of the visiting team, the Wareham Gatemen, league officers, and the entire Cape League family, we would like to announce and thank our 2017 corporate sponsors. With much appreciation, we recognize the Yawkey Foundation, Chatham Bars Inn, the Fuller Family Foundation, Dunkin' Donuts, Curry College, Cape Cod Healthcare, the 99 Restaurants, Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod, Cape Cod Potato Chips, Friendly's Ice Cream, Baseball Factory, Cape and Island License Plate, 47 Brand, Cape Cod 5 Cents Saving Bank, Stop and Shop, Peapod. We'll be back to you in the next inning for the second half of this outstanding list of loyal sponsors.
Back here at White House Field, 3-1 lead for the Mariners over the Gatemen. Jacob Toby along with Connor Federico, Justin Montgomery on the hill. 3 runs. They're not earned, though. But this is maybe the first time that he's faced some adversity this season so far.
Well, the last time he did face any adversity was when he loaded the bases twice here with nobody out. Ended up getting out of that successfully. So maybe, he's really mentally headstrong.
Matt Vierling swings on the first pitch. Sends it down the right field line behind the Gatemen dugout and out of play for a foul ball. 0-1.
This game's a long way from over. We're only through an inning and a half. Sure, the Mariners are leading 3-1 right now, but with with Montgomery on the hill and, great Gatemen lineup with him.
0-1, sent straight back by Vierling, 0-2.
Anything's possible. The Gatemen, they've found ways to come back late in the game. They have 7 more innings to work with right now, so they've got plenty of time to do it. It's just about getting those leadoff guys to get around and score.
Montgomery delivers the 0-2. It bounces off of Ancia's chest. Vierling 140, 1 home run, and 8 RBIs. Montgomery with the 1-2. It's low again. We last saw Montgomery on July 9th versus the Whitey Red Sox. It was stellar.
Yeah, another 5 scoreless innings. Just a really good job keeping his pitch count down, really showing off for the whole crowd. 4 innings, yeah.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch to Vierling. Vierling swings on this one, sends it past the light post down the first baseline foul.
Montgomery's lucky that Vierling didn't hit that one out of the ballpark. Just really hung that breaking ball up in the zone, and Vierling fouled it off.
Montgomery's 2-2. Nice at bat here from Vierling as he chips it foul again.
Well, he's swung on ball 3 a couple of times, and the count remains 2-2. So Montgomery getting some favors for sure. But now with a 2-2 count, you really need to find a way to put Vierling away. You haven't gone to the fastball in a couple pitches.
Vierling was fixing his pink batting gloves. Now he steps back in on the right side. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes Montgomery's pitch. And another one sent straight back, foul. This one goes out of play. No score here in the bottom of the second. Rather 3-1, no outs. Two-two pitch. Bounces again off of Ancia's chest protector. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, that one only traveled about 59 feet. Now with a full count, you're still working out of the windup. Figure out what your pitch is and locate it.
3 balls and 2 strikes to Matt Vierling, the left fielder. Did you just say 59 feet? Is that exact?
Oh, I have no idea. I'm guesstimating.
Three-two pitch is popped up in foul territory. Now that goes out of play, bounces into the trees. Vierling is the leadoff hitter in this second inning. It is Vierling, Burt, then back to the top in Anton Duplantis.
Yeah, and it's a dangerous top of the order. Duplantis grounded out to Duran his last time up, but then after that, you couldn't retire D'Alessandro or India.
Montgomery's 3-2 once more. Up a little high, ball 4. Great at bat from Matt Vierling. He goes down to first base with a walk.
Yeah, and that's the second walk of the day for Justin Montgomery. Not the start he was exactly looking to have. With the 9 batter up now, you got to find a way to maybe get a double play ball here or a strikeout. Just help yourself in this inning.
Max Burt, the second baseman, the 9-hitter in this lineup, 161. No home runs and 1 RBI. First pitch swinging into center field, right in front of Nick Angelini. So Max Burt gets in on the action. It's first and second with no outs in this 3-1 ball game, with Harwich winning it so far.
Yeah, it's really hard to believe right now that Justin Montgomery is struggling against, one of the worst offenses in the entire Cape League. Eventually, all good things have to end. And in terms of Montgomery's scoreless streak, that has, despite him keeping that 0 ERA. But the Gatemen, they can't afford to lose this game today. He's got to find a way to keep himself in there, persevere, get outs.
Montgomery has 2 walks today. He had 2 walks total in his last outing versus YD. As Duplantis steps in with runners on first and second, blocked by Ancia for ball 1. You talk about this Harwich offense that's been struggling as of late. Coming into today last in the league in batting average. Runs scored as well. Second pitch at the at-bat. In for a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, maybe that cold today affecting Montgomery a little bit. It is not the nicest of days we've had on the Cape. In fact, one of the worst that it hasn't been raining.
1 ball and 1 strike. Veerling at second, Burt at first. And the second strike delivered by Justin Montgomery, 1-2 to Duplantis.
Yeah, both, at the high part of the zone, up around the letters. I don't think Duplantis liked either call, but he's going to have to deal with it. Now it's up to Montgomery to change the hitter's eye level, maybe go down and away in the zone.
Montgomery's 1-2. Sent to Duran at second. He's going to tag out the runner, Burt. Throw to first, and it's in time. Gets the double play. Veerling will advance to third base.
And for the second time today, Anton Duplantis grounds out to the second baseman, Duran, but really great play by Jaron Duran. He tags Max Burt right in the face after he sort of slid on the ground trying to get out of the way or at least delay the tag from Duran. But that's the third time we've seen Duran do that this summer in terms of tagging out a runner in the second baseline and then throwing a guy out at first base.
Matt Veerling is the runner 90 feet away at third. Nick D'Alessandro, the batter, takes strike 1. D'Alessandro singled in the first, then came around to score. And he takes strike 2, no balls and 2 strikes. So Montgomery gets the double play from Jaron Duran, and he's 1 strike away from getting out of the inning. Looking at third base, where Matt Veerling is. 0-2. Little chipper to Duran at second. On the run, throws to first. And the side is retired. No runs on 1 hit. No errors, and 1 man left on. This game is still 3-1 in favor of Wareham. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Continuing with our corporate sponsors, we also want to recognize and thank Franklin Sports, Advanced Embroidery, Cape Destinations, Robert B. R., Sullivan Tire, Vacation Inn Cape Cod Veterinary Specialists, Cape Cod Times, Kinlan Grover Real Estate, Next Radio, Yellow Book, TSA, Rawlings, Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce, Highline Cruises, Sports Picks, On Deck Sports, Barnstable Bat, Hyannis Area Chamber of Commerce, HP Hood, Sunderland Printing, and Axis Bats. And of course, thank you to Major League Baseball for over 50 years of support.
Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends, staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgent-care.
3-1 Harwich here at White House Field. Jacob Toby along with Connor Federico will be checking in with Claudia Chikamian next half inning. She is the host today of the pregame show, also doing some sideline work as well as she usually does.
Number 51, Stephen Kwan.
As Sam Corman is out on assignment today.
See ya.
Kwan will step in. Was at bat when Jaron Duran got caught stealing back in that second inning. Cole Aker delivers the first pitch. This one sent to left. Coming over is Veerling to make the catch in foul territory. 1 pitch and 1 out.
Yeah, Decent swing by Quan. He was a little late on that inside pitch and just sort of popped it inside out towards the left field line. Pretty deep, and Vierling had to range into foul territory, long ways away from his original positioning, but he does make the catch.
Tanner Dodson walked back in the first, came around to score against Aker. Aker skips this one to the backstop. Dodson does a little hop to get out of the way.
I mean, he's a guy that doesn't want to just get hit by a pitch and jog on down to first. He walked his first time up. He's a guy that wants to hit. He wants to get the bat on the ball, show what he can do.
Aker's 1-0 is outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Aker this past season at UNC, 10 appearances, 3 of them starts, a 2.12 ERA. His 2-0 drops in for a strike.
Yeah, and now in the third inning, this is the first time that Aker has successfully gotten the leadoff batter out. He issued a walk. He issued a single to Quan and then a walk to Duran.
2-1 is outside. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Both of whom ended up getting thrown out trying to steal against the catcher, Nick D'Alessandro. So Aker getting some help from his defense.
The 3-1 pitch from Aker skips behind Dodson. And Dodson's going to go down to first. He is 0 for 0 today with 2 walks.
Yeah, we talked about Dodson wanting to hit. Well, too bad. You're not swinging at any of those pitches. I mean, that one literally skipped behind his legs, like you just said. So, he has speed. The stolen base attempts are going to start to sort of peter out as D'Alessandro continues to show off his arm. So maybe you can get something in motion like a hit and run or anything that'll help your offense. But Kasser, maybe you just let him hit because he had a single against Aker back in the first.
Kyle Kasser singled, like you just said, back in that first inning. He's 1 for 1. Dodson is at first. First pitch at the at-bat is missing for a ball, 1-0. And now there's going to be a conference here on the hill. The catcher, D'Alessandro, coming out to talk to his pitcher with one of the assistant coaches. Here at White House Field, a 3-1 lead for the Mariners over the Gatemen. Make sure to email the broadcast team at pressbox@gatemen.org if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the broadcast. Also, make sure to follow Wareham Gatemen on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud. So Kasser at the plate, 1 ball and no strikes. Gets the signs from Don Snedden in the dugout. Batting from the left side. Here comes the 1-0 from Aker. And that drops out of the glove of D'Alessandro. Dodson goes to second, takes a big turn, but will head back. And he advances now into scoring position.
Yeah, Dodson was actually thinking about third the entire time there, and you saw it by the way he rounded the second base bag. And now Aker and D'Alessandro, it seems like they're on different wavelengths right now, want to talk this one over. I don't know, despite that passed ball right there, I think Aker should be pretty happy with the performance his catcher's putting on for him right now.
Aker's last outing didn't go so well. Took the loss versus Orleans July 10th. Only went a third of an inning and gave up 3 earned runs. 2-0 to Kasser. Grounded to the second baseman. Burt makes a sliding play. Retires Kasser at first. For out number 2, Dodson advances to third.
Good play by Burt. That one was a chopper in between the first and second baseman. And the second baseman, Burt, eventually does get the leather on it, sort of falling forward and making the throw onto his first baseman, Verdon. That saves the ball from getting into the outfield. And if that one was hit any harder, probably would have been an RBI base hit for Kasser. But you do move the runner over to third.
Willie McIver struck out swinging his first time up. Takes strike 1 from Aker. 0-1.
Yeah, the first pitch of this at-bat to McIver. Aker threw the exact same pitch, sort of curveball around the outside and low area of the strike zone that McIver struck out on his last time up.
Aker delivers the 0-1 right to the third baseman, India. He'll throw to first, retire McIver to retire the side as well. So the Gatemen can't get any runs on no hits, no errors, and one man left on. They still trail 3-1. And now we'll send it over to Claudia Chikamian with an update. Claudia.
Thanks, Jacob. So an update around the Cape for you. In Brewster, YD and the Whitecaps are tied at 1 in the top of the 9th. Something to be aware of because Brewster, they don't have lights. So it's starting to get dark here, so we'll have to keep an eye on what will happen with that. Those two teams are tied in the Eastern Division, so if one of the teams can pull ahead before it gets dark, they'll have a nice second-place lead in the East. Now let's head over to Catuit. The Orleans Firebirds have a 5-1 lead over the Cavaliers in the top of the 7th inning. Now let's go over to Bourne. The Braves and the Anglers are tied at 1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Now in Hyannis, the Falmouth Commodores have a 2-0 lead in the bottom of the 6th. So that's another Western Division game to keep an eye on. Hyannis is trying to pick up some ground. Falmouth has just a 1-point lead over the Harbor Hawks. So if Falmouth can continue, they just want to extend their lead. So anything to happen. Back to you, Jacob and Connor.
Thank you, Claudia. It is a 3-1 ball game right now in the Mariners' favor over the Wareham Gatemen. Jacob Toby alongside Connor Federico, and the Mariners coming to the plate right now. Check this, Connor. Gatemen have 4 players in the top 20 in batting average in the league. Harwich has none.
Well, and that's pretty interesting considering the 10th man award of the year has gone to the Harwich Mariners for the past 2 seasons, and right now they don't really have any guys that would contend for a Player of the Year title, or they have guys who are hitting above 400, but those are LSU and Florida guys who just got here, don't have the minimum amount of at-bats. That was Tanner Dodson's problem for a while, and until he eventually got in the lineup enough.
Hey, look, Dodson's at the top of the league in batting average. Montgomery delivers strike 1 to Jonathan India. Yeah, you're talking about that 10th player award, the Manny Rabello Award. Second pitch at the at-bat sent to the shortstop, Baird. The infield throws to first. The throw is a little bit off to the right of the bag, but McIver stretches out and makes a nice play for out number 1.
Well, sure, it was a little bit off target, but props to Ben Baird. He knows that the 3-batter India has some speed. It was a slow grounder to the shortstop, so Baird started that one on the the fringe of the outfield grass. He fields it on the fringe of the infield grass, fields it, throws it all at the same time in one fluid but sort of sloppy motion, and it works.
Josh Smith, the shortstop, takes ball 1, 1-0. Josh Smith used to play for the Atlanta Hawks. Oh, I'm just kidding.
No, different guy.
1-0 becomes 2-0. So that 10th player award is, like you said, Connor, come to Harwich the past 2 seasons. 2016, Austin Falaire. 2015, Johnny Adams. 2-0 sent foul down the left field line. Out of play.
Did the NBA player Josh Smith wear 15 for the Atlanta Hawks?
Cannot remember. Noah Zavalis is in the bullpen for the Wareham Gatemen. Montgomery's 2-1. A sent right past Duran. No doubt base hit for Josh Smith.
Yeah, now the Mariners have had a base runner in every inning, just like the Gatemen had, and this has been a day more for the offense so far, even though it's only 3-1 right now. And you've got Montgomery up there who, just now gives up his first earned run of the season. It's a difficult circumstance for Montgomery, who really hasn't faced a lot of adversity this season.
Kobe Vance reached on that error. His first time up, swings right through Montgomery's fastball. 0-1. And that Montgomery fastball can get upwards to 94, 95.
Yeah, and, for the most part, the impressive part of the fastball is it has a little bit of life on it, and Montgomery locates it really well.
Runner on first base, and they do check over at Smith. He dives back safely. No balls and 1 strike to Kobe Vance with 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. A 3-1 lead for Harwich. The righty delivers, and the runner's going to go down to second. The throw to second, not in time. Duran thought that he tagged Smith in time. But Smith will be safe at second.
Well, interestingly enough, the batter Kobe Vance gave up the stop single to Josh Smith, who was over there at first. You know, that's usually what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to say go or stop when the ball hits the dirt. Vance thought Anchia had fielded that one cleanly, but Josh Smith still legs out a stolen base.
1-1 to Vance, framed by Anchia for strike 2.
Yeah, and that one is, you know, on the low part of the zone to Kobe Vance, which is usually way low to any other batter, but Vance only stands 5'8".
Montgomery looks back, the runner at second. The 1-2 to right field. It is fair. Rounding third, coming to score is Smith. To second base goes Vance. An RBI double for the Harwich DH. Makes it 4-1 in favor of the Mariners.
Yeah, tough break for Justin Montgomery. You know, good piece of hitting there by Kobe Vance, who gets that single just to fall down the right field line, going the opposite way. You know, right now he's chatting with Jake Anchia and Jim Lawler. He is going to come out of the dugout. We're not sure if this is going to be a pitching change, but man, what a season Montgomery's had. This would be, you know, this is a really tough way to give up that, you know, perfect ERA.
Like we said, Noah Zavalis was warming in that bullpen. Jim Lawler's going to bring in the infield right now. Talk it over with Justin Montgomery and his catcher, Jake Anchia. So an RBI single for Kobe Vance. Scores Josh Smith. Zavalis in the bullpen looking over at pitching coach Jim Lawler, and he gets the sign he's coming in. So we will take a short break here on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Pitching change from Harwich.
Don't miss a minute of this station's pre- and post-game sports talk. Tune in on your smartphone with the Next Radio app. It's live and it's local. Download the free Next Radio app from the Google Play Store today. Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen Youth Clinics. The instruction clinics are open to boys and girls between ages 4 and 15. The clinics are a great opportunity to meet and learn from some of the best collegiate players in the country. Clinics are held Monday through Friday, depending on the player's off day. For more information and to sign up your young ball player, visit www.gatemen.org. Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends, staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgent care.
The Fuller Family Foundation is proud to support the excellent sportsmanship and character of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. We are proud supporters of the CCBBL as well as many other wonderful Cape Cod organizations that serve our community.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Mr. Brian Clue and SmartGo Services LLC, located in Taunton, Massachusetts, for being the official sponsors of the Gatemen Player Development Program. The Player Development Program aims to improve both the players' and interns' skills and prepares them for a career in professional baseball. Again, a sincere thank you to Mr. Brian Clue and SmartGo Services.
Pitching change from White House Field. The lights are on. Jacob Tobey along with Connor Federico. Justin Montgomery's night is done. 2 1/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 earned as of right now, but he is responsible for the runner at second base, Kobe Vance. 2 walks and a strikeout paves the way for Noah Zavalis.
Yeah, and Zavalis, he's a guy that can give you 3 or 4 good innings out of the bullpen and sort of hold the opposing offense stagnant. I mean, that's really what he's good for coming out of Harvard. a real strikeout guy. We've seen him on one occasion, go 9 up, 9 down, including, 3 strikeouts looking in 1 inning. So he's really got great skill. He'll be a senior next year for the Crimson. And he's been solid over the past 2 summers for the Gatemen.
Cameron Simmons will step in, batting .429 with runners in scoring position. He has Vance at second base. Zavalis' first pitch missing for a ball inside 1-0.
Yeah, and Zavalis, just like Montgomery, his calling card is getting ahead of the count early, and that's why Montgomery sort of failed today. He really did not do that, so Zavalis has to figure it out.
1-0 becomes 2-0. We last saw Zavalis July 7th in that game versus Yarmouth Dennis. 2 innings, no earned, 3 strikeouts. And this one drills Simmons right in the back. He goes down to first base, trying to walk it off.
Yeah, that certainly had a tough sound to it. But, right now, Zavalis, he has a new batter, Jordan Verdon, who is 0 for 1 today. Got to find a way to retire this guy, maybe get a ground ball double play. Trust your infielders. And that's something Zavalis does well also in terms of getting outs. He strikes people out and he gets ground outs.
Verdon, bat from the left side. Waiting to step in here. Home plate umpire Rick Emerson was waiting for something, but now everyone's finally set. Zavalis back on the mound. Walked away from it for a moment. Runners at first and second with 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd. Here comes Zavalis' first pitch. That is popped up to shallow right field. Going out there is the shortstop, Ben Baird, to make the catch for out number 2.
Well, Sharon Duran's just sort of looking at Ben Baird like, hey, this guy just took my pop-up. But, it doesn't really matter. Baird roams over to the right side of the infield to make the play. That probably would have been the infield fly rule anyway, so good play. And now you got 2 outs in this inning.
Matt Vierling walked back in the second. Two runners on and 2 outs. 4-1 Harwich. Ball 1 thrown to Vierling. Zavalis, a Massachusetts native out of Acton. He's known to throw those strikeouts. We talk about it. Led Harvard in strikeout to walk ratio. His 1-0 sent foul behind the plate. 1-1.
Yeah, runners on first and second right now, and the guy on second, Vance, he is Montgomery's responsibility. Guy who sort of beat up Montgomery today. That ground ball to Kasser back in the first inning that was ruled an infield base hit and then a throwing error. So Vance has not been retired today.
1-1, out to left. Going back at first, then coming in was Quan. Makes the catch nevertheless to end the inning. Mariners get 1 run on 3 hits. No errors and 2 men left on. They now lead it 4-1. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends, staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgentcare. Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark.
Now a 4-1 lead for Harwich over Wareham at White House Field. The sun still creeping through the clouds rather a little bit. The lights are on though at White House Field. Jacob Tilby along with Connor Federico.
At 4 o'clock, this place was beautiful. There wasn't a cloud in sight, and it was sunny. It was great. The first time we had just seen sun in a long time, but now the clouds have sort of crept over. There's rain expected later tonight around 10 or 11 o'clock. I don't think that'll affect us, though.
Pompey, the right fielder, will step in against Aker and hack at the first one. Send it foul down to the left.
You know, and here's your guy that has driven in the only run of the game for you. Tristan Pompey, with 2 outs, drives in Tanner Dotson.
Second pitch at the at-bat. Strike 2.
That was back in the first, and now the Gatemen here in the fourth. You need to find a way to get your leadoff runner on. That's going to help you.
Akers 0-2. Just outside on a fastball. The 1-2 pitch is set to left. Ranging over is Vierling to make the catch. Retires Pompey for out number 1. So the Harwich Mariners have won 2 straight. They are looking to win 3 straight for the first time this season.
Well, I mean, the Gatemen have come very close to winning 3 straight games on 2 occasions. Ended up dropping the third game both to the Falmouth Commodores, what would have been a 3-game winning streak. So the Gatemen trying to prevent Harwich from doing what they have been unable to do in this matchup tonight.
Jake Anchia swings at the first pitch on a liner. Diving, making the catch is Vierling. Ranging over to his right, makes a nice catch to retire Anchia on the first pitch, 2 gone.
Vierling's been a bit busy over there in left tonight. That is his 3rd putout and 2nd of this inning. Great job by him, you know, making that play. He read it immediately off the bat of Anchia. Pulled that one as opposed to Pompey, who goes opposite field. Just a hard line drive. Anchia probably thought he had a base hit, but no, Matt Vierling.
But no. Duran stepping in with 2 outs. 2 quick outs here in the top of the 4th. Strike 1 taken. Harwich up 4-1. Duran walked and then was caught stealing. Back in the 2nd. Swings right through the fastball, and seems like we just started the inning about 2 minutes ago, and now there are 2 outs with 2 strikes on Jaron Duran.
At least the sun's sort of shining nicely off the scoreboard over there. Very picturesque right now here at White House Field.
Akers 0-2. Right through it, swung on and missed. Jaron Duran goes down to end the inning. It's a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no men left on. Gatemen still looking for runs. They trail it 4-1. You're listening to the Wareham Gatemen Baseball on Gatemen Baseball Network.
Do you know what that sound is? That's your new digital marketing department. And that'll be your new web designer. And that's Haibu, where these experts are joined by many more, from web designers to search marketing specialists who work hard to get your business noticed online and on mobile. Best of all, Haibu can do it all for you, or give you the tools to do it yourself. To find out more, go to haibu.com. That's HIBU.com. Or call 855-464-HIBU. Oh, that'll be your next new customer. Haibu, made for business.
Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. This special weekly celebration of Red Shirt Fridays is sponsored by 47 Brand, HP Hood, Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority, Advanced Embroidery, and the Cape League. Support our troops and join us by wearing red each Friday.
Bottom of the fourth at White House Field, getting eaten alive by bugs. Jacob Toby alongside Connor Federico, a 4-1 lead for the Mariners over the Gatemen. Noah Zavalis in for his second inning of work.
Yeah, and, came in to replace Montgomery. Zavalis, he's been solid. Hasn't, retired the last two batters he faced after hitting his first batter, Cameron Simmons, right in the back.
First pitch at the at-bat to Max Burt, in for strike one. Burt singled in the second. Nice breaking ball from Zavalis. Quickly 0-2.
And the difference now for Zavalis is he gets to pitch out of the windup. Sometimes relievers, they prefer to pitch out of the stretch. But Zavalis, when he can, he'll pitch out of the windup, and he's much better there than he is out of the stretch.
No balls and 2 strikes. Zavalis' pitch up and away. One ball and 2 strikes. It is Burt, Duplantis, D'Alessandro. 1-2, framed by Anchia, just a tad bit high, 2-2.
Well, there's the intelligence of Zavalis being shown off for you. First time on 0-2, he misses really high fastball. Then he only goes slightly high fastball. Both situations where you can't get hurt.
2-2. Framed by Anchia again. Rick Emerson doesn't fall for it. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, now you change speeds and eye level. You go down in the zone this time, and Rick Emerson just doesn't give you the call you want. I'm not sure where that pitch was.
Full count, 3-2. And Zavalis will send Burt down to first with a walk.
Surprising. You get ahead 0-2, and then just 2 calls don't go your way, and you end up walking the leadoff guy here in the bottom of the fourth. Just not the recipe for success for Zavalis. Now we'll go back to the stretch where he's solid, but I think he'd prefer to throw out of the windup. And Duplantis, he's 0 for 2 today.
Mentioned Austin Flair winning that Manny Robello Award for Harwich. He was drafted this year in the MLB draft. First pitch to D'Alessandro is popped up. Baird calls everyone off on the infield at the shortstop position, makes the catch for out number 1.
Yeah, good job. Good work retiring Duplantis. And you keep that runner over there at first base after a very long at-bat. You get the leadoff hitter in this lineup to retire on the first pitch. That's got to help Zavalis' confidence.
D'Alessandro, the runner on first base, swings on this one, hits it to Kasser. They'll go to second for 1, on to first, not in time. And they do retire Max Burt over at second base, but D'Alessandro reaches on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, I was surprised they got the out at second right there. Really good job by Kasser. That was a similarly hit ground ball to the one that Kobe Vance hit back in the first inning, just a high chopper that Kasser has to wait on and wait on and wait on to make the throw. This time he makes a really strong, accurate throw to second base.
Still a 4-1 lead for Harwich over Wareham in the bottom of the fourth. Jonathan India coming to the plate with 2 outs. Is 0 for 1 today with a walk, takes strike 1. Out of the stretch, here comes the 0-1 from Zavalis. Out to right, Pompey has to let it bounce right in front of him. The throw comes into third. Kasser handles it, but now it's first and second with 2 outs. That ball just drops right in front of Tristan Pompey.
Yeah, he might have had a sliding play on that one if he wanted it, but I think that was the safer play with, 2 outs and Nick D'Alessandro going on contact. You want to make sure you keep that ball in front of you. Safe play right there by Pompey. And, now you have to face the cleanup hitter in this lineup who has a single, a stolen base, and a run scored with 2 runners on, and that's a tough situation for Zavalis here.
Josh Smith is 1 for 2. Singled and stole a base. Also scored in that 3rd inning. First pitch at the at-bat. Outside for ball 1.
Yeah, Zavalis taking signs from his shortstop Ben Baird right now. We saw Justin Montgomery almost pick off a runner at second back in the 1st inning. The Gatemen, for the most part, are pretty conservative about throwing over there.
Second pitch is low. 2 balls and no strikes. So D'Alessandro, the runner at second. Jonathan India, the runner at first with 2 outs. 4-1 in favor of the Mariners over the Gatemen here in the bottom of the 4th. 2-0 and 4 strike.
Yeah, that was a pitch Zavalis really needed right there. He goes with a little bit of a breaking ball off speed. It just looked like a changeup. It was on the inside corner. On 2-0, hitters so often are expecting fastball right down the center of the plate. And Zavalis changes it up a little bit right there, pitching backwards to the hitter.
2-1, swung on in, hit foul.
Jim Lawler has put out 2 guys there today that he definitely trusts to call their own game, and their baseball IQs are very high. Montgomery and now Zavalis. So with 2-2, 2 outs, 2 runners on, you have to trust Zavalis is going to make the right decision here, whether it's going to be his fastball or that breaking pitch down low.
Looks back, the runner at second. Here comes the pitch. It's a breaking ball, blocked nicely by Anchia, but now the count runs full.
Well, and the key is, when you're such a good hitter at the plate like Josh Smith, and you have 3 balls and 2 strikes in a count, you want to throw fastball because you want to make sure that you throw something in there for a strike and you don't end up walking the guy. But you got to be able to throw one of your other pitches in for a strike, and that's going to be the pitch. That's going to be the call now for Zavalis.
3-2 to Smith is rung up, called strike 3. Noah Zavalis gets out of the inning with a strikeout. That strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on for the Harwich Mariners. They still lead it 4-1. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and software development. Online at www.curry.edu. It's back. The 2017 Friendlies Cape League All-Star Game will be played at Spillane Field, home of the Wareham Gatemen. Mark the date on your calendar, Saturday, July 22nd. Game time is 6 p.m., but the gates open at 2 p.m. One highlight will be the home run hitting contest. There will also be an autograph session and a large merchandise village with items from many of the teams. Be sure to buy your tickets now right here at the merchandise stand. Tickets are just $5, and part of the proceeds will support our Wareham Gatemen.
Gatemen trailing by 3, 4-1 lead for Harwich. Jacob Toby with Connor Federico. Claudia Chikamian on hand as well. Ben Baird will lead it off for the Gatemen here. It'll be Baird, Angelini, and Stephen Kwan.
Well, Kwan is the only one out of those three guys who has a hit in this game, and that was back in the first inning. So bottom of this Gatemen order, 8 and 9 right now. Baird, Angelini have to find a way on.
First pitch from Aker is up high for ball one.
We haven't seen Ben Baird try to bunt for a hit a lot. We know he has speed, and he's a great defensive shortstop. Not as great with the bat, but maybe bunting for a hit wouldn't be a bad idea.
1-0 is outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Aker on the hill, played in the Cal Ripton League in the summer of 2016. 2-0, in for a strike. He was an all-star with the Baltimore Redbirds.
That's probably the premier team in the Ripken League, them in Bethesda.
2-1, swung on and missed. You familiar with the Cal Ripken League?
I love college summer baseball. And the Baltimore Redbirds, they've got plenty of titles down there in the Ripken League. That, just like the Cape Cod League, is, you know, you don't get drives for more than an hour either way.
Here comes Akers 2-2. On the ground, past the dive of the first baseman Vert, and the second baseman Burt comes over, throws it to Aker, who was covering first, and in time to retire Baird for out number 1.
Well, yeah, really great play by Burt. I mean, sliding and having trust that your pitcher is going to be able to cover the bag in time. You know, Verdon was taken out of the play after he dove for that ball, and it ended up getting past him. But great play by Burt, similar to how he retired Kasser back in the 3rd inning, making the play in the hole and just sort of flipping it on to first with enough time.
Angelini takes ball 1. Angelini was caught looking back in the 2nd to end the inning. Time called at home plate by Rick Emerson. Does a little walk outside of the dirt onto the grass, but the pitcher Aker delivered a pitch.
Well, I mean, that's how you just make sure you don't get hurt. You know, follow through with your motion.
Delivers the 1-0 out to right. Going back is the right fielder Simmons. Still going back, and it's going to hit the wall. Angelini thinking 3, and he'll actually stop at second. Nice piece of hitting there for Nick Angelini with 1 out in the top of the 5th. Gatemen trailing 4-1.
First extra base hit we've seen on either side tonight. Double for Nick Angelini out to right center. That one looked a lot like pitch he took over the fence against Hyannis, I believe, for his only home run of the season. So great piece of hitting right there. Sees a ball on the outer half of the plate, takes it to the opposite side of the field, and great work for Angelini. Now you give yourself a great position to score for the Gatemen.
Kwan at the plate, 1 for 2. Angelini at second base. Akers first pitch, fastball, no doubt for strike 1. Now, would you see a situation where Kwan would bunt it?
Yeah, just because Tanner Dodson's 0 for 0 today doesn't mean that he has 2 walks, but it doesn't mean he's not capable of getting a hit. I think the key is you want to give yourself 2 chances with Kwan and with Dodson to get him around.
0-1 with a fastball up and away. That fastball seems to be rising up a little bit.
Yeah, it seems as if Akers losing a bit of control. Definitely fatigued in his 5th inning of work now. If there were no outs in this inning, I'd say for sure Stephen Kwan should put a bunt down. But with 1 out, you want to give yourself a chance to get a base knock and drive him home.
1 ball and 1 strike. And time is called at the plate.
That'll be a balk.
And it's going to be a balk.
For certain.
So the runner, Angelini, will advance to 3rd on a balk. And now the catcher, D'Alessandro, is going to go out to talk to Aker.
Yeah, what Aker did was just move his shoulder ever so slightly to the plate, and then, you know, when he looked back at second, it ended up being a balk. His shortstop, Smith, was begging for the ball. They thought they had Angelini picked off, but now this becomes a lot easier to score for Angelini. All you really need is a sac fly or a ground ball, anything really.
No bunt needed here. 1 ball and 1 strike to Stephen Kwan with a runner 90 feet away, swings and slices it foul out of play.
Well, now you have 2 strikes on you, and your approach at the plate becomes a bit different. You want to try to put the ball in play instead of hitting a deep fly ball. You know, Stephen Kwan's always looking to get himself a hit.
Aker from the stretch. Here comes his 1-2. High chopped in the infield. Coming over is Smith. He bobbles it at short. The run will score. Angelini safe at the plate. Gatemen get their second run of the day, 4-2.
And for the second time, Stephen Kwan has a hit today because of a high chopper. We're not sure what that's going to be ruled yet, but that is a run for the Gatemen. And, you know, now you have Tanner Dodson, who scored the first run of the game for the Gatemen, and before that hit, it's going to be ruled for Stephen Kwan, an infield base hit. You know, he was the only run of the game. So Dodson has not been retired today. Kwan has been thrown out at second, so I would not send him in motion. Maybe on a hit and run, because Tanner Dodson's capable.
Dodson batting from the left side versus Aker for the third time tonight. Takes ball 1.
In a battle of 28s in red today for Harwich and blue today for the Gatemen. You know, Dodson has prevailed. Definitely, you know, looking at a lot more balls than strikes. And was stranded on third back in the third inning. Now he'd like to help Kwan score.
Cal product at the plate. Awaits the 1-0. Here it comes. And takes ball 2. Dodson has just been so useful for the Gatemen, both at the plate and on the mound.
I mean, it's really interesting because listed as a pitcher, he leads the league in hitting, but Coach Sneddon thinks his future's in pitching.
2-0. Kwan goes. The ball bounces to the plate. D'Alessandro's throw down to second. Not in time. Not in time. And Kwan down to second safely.
That was almost surprising. I mean, that play was a lot closer than it should have been. Kwan had a great jump. Then the ball was in the dirt. Somehow popped perfectly into D'Alessandro's catcher's mitt as he was standing up. Delivers a great throw to second. It looked like Kwan slowed down a little bit on the way there.
3-0. Dodson takes ball 4. 1, 2, 3 walks today.
Wow. I mean, that's not... I think Dodson really wants to stand up there and get a hit, but he'll take getting on base however he can. And Kyle Kasser's got to love this situation right now. You've got 2 runners on, 1 out. You know, doing your job would be getting a base hit right now and cutting this Harwich lead in half. Stephen Kwan could definitely score. I don't think this is a bunt situation. Willie McIver's on deck. He's 0 for 2 today with the strikeout.
Austin Hansen warming up in the Harwich bullpen. First pitch sails off the glove of D'Alessandro. The runners will advance to second and third. Kwan took a big turn at third, but he'll stop there. And that fastball out of control right now for Aker.
Yeah, that one was the worst. That was the worst located ball we've seen today from any pitcher in this game. Aker just misses horribly. And, you know, to the lefty Kasser, the ball was way outside on the left part of the plate. You know, just getting a piece of it with his glove was D'Alessandro, but that was way out of there.
4-2 ball game. Gatemen trying to make a comeback here in the 5th. They've already got 1 run. Looking for more. Runners at second and third with 1 out for Kyle Kasser. And ball 2 up and away.
Yeah, way high again, and that one was about eye level for Kasser, and the first one was over his head. So Aker bringing it down, but the question is, when will he find the strike zone? Right now, the Gatemen are taking advantage of this.
Aker's 2-0 pitch becomes 3-0, and now in danger of loading the bases.
Yeah, and it's clear that Kasser was told, put the bat on your shoulder until strike 1 is called, because right now Aker is all over the place, can't find the strike zone. He'll be leaving the bat on his shoulder for this 3-0 pitch.
Deals the 3-0, that one in for a strike.
And now Kasser, 1-3 in blue, has a lot of opportunities with this 3-1 count. You know, it's a hitter's count, but you might not completely trust Aker's accuracy. I mean, this is definitely going to be a fastball.
3-1 pitch. Kasser was late, just a tad bit, fouls it straight back, and now the count runs full.
Yeah, trying to slap that one to the opposite field. Just gets under it a bit too much, and now this count goes from 3-0 to 3-2. You know, again, you're one pitch away from loading the bases, but you are one good pitch away from getting the second out of this inning and making it a lot more difficult for the Gatemen.
Quan at third, Dodson at second. Here comes the 3-2. Staying alive is Kasser. He knew he was just a tad bit late. Takes a couple steps out of the batter's box.
Yeah, and the Gatemen have already stranded 3 runners in this game, 2 in the first, 1 in the third. You cannot make this 4 and 5 right here. Stephen Quan and Tanner Dodson have to find their way around and score.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes Akers' pitch. On the ground to the second baseman, Burt, to first. They get 1 out. Coming home to score is Quan. It's 4-3, Gatemen trailing by just 1 run now.
Yeah, good job by Kyle Kasser, just putting the ball in play. I think if he was a bit, if he had a bit more power on that one, that could have been a 2 RBI base hit up the middle. Instead, you give Burt some time to get over and make the play. So you cut the Harwich lead in half. You still have an opportunity to make this a tie ball game. Tanner Dodson is over there at third right now. And Willie McIver, he has plenty of RBIs this year. He's clutch, and he can get the job done.
15 of those RBIs makes him tied 8th in the league right now. Pitch runs up and in, 1-0.
And Tristan Pompey on deck. He has an RBI in this game as well.
Gatemen have gotten 2 runs in this inning. They now trail it 4-3. McIver just gets a piece of it. Nicks it foul right to the foot of the home plate umpire, Rick Emerson. He rubs it off a little bit.
Interestingly enough, Jacob, the Gatemen had 2 runs the first time they were here in Harwich, the second game of the season. They had 2 runs in the 5th inning, then followed up with 7 in the 6th inning. So maybe this is a good sign.
Akers 1-1 is low for a ball.
You know, in a 10-team league with so many players, you know, facing each other on any given night, sometimes there are coincidences too hard to ignore.
2-1 from Aker. Hits McIver. So McIver gets plunked. He's down to first. Now it's runners at the corners with 2 outs for Pompey.
Tristan Pompey is licking his lips right now. He likes the fact that there's a runner on third, Tanner Dodson on first, Willie McIver. And maybe there's going to be a pitching change first. So Pompey will not get to face the struggling Aker.
There will be a pitching change here at White House Field. Gatemen trying to tie this one up. They still trail it 4-3. We'll take a short break here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
It's back. The 2017 Friendlies Cape League All-Star Game will be played at Spillane Field, home of the Wareham Gatemen. Mark the date on your calendar, Saturday, July 22nd. Game time is 6 p.m., but the gates open at 2 p.m. One highlight will be the home run hitting contest. There will also be an autograph session and a large merchandise village with items from many of the teams. Be sure to buy your tickets now right here at the merchandise stand. Tickets are just $5, and part of the proceeds will support our Wareham Gatemen.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke. Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen High School Clinics. These programs are run by the Gatemen coaching staff with a focus on exposing high school area players to the college game. To sign up for either the hitting, pitching, or catching camps, visit www.gatemen.org for more information. Don't miss a minute of this station's pre- and post-game sports talk. Tune in on your smartphone with the Next Radio app. It's live and it's local. Download the free Next Radio app from the Google Play Store today.
The Fuller Family Foundation is proud to support the excellent sportsmanship and character of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Curry College offers 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams in sports such as football, baseball, softball, basketball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, cross country, and volleyball.
Austin Hansen is the new pitcher for the Mariners. Here's the situation. Runners at the corners with 2 outs. Tristan Pompey takes ball 1 from the right-handed Hansen. Dodson at third, McIver at first. 1-0 to Pompey, in for strike 1. This one sent out to deep right field. Under it is the center fielder, Duplantis. Put him away to end the inning. Not before the Gatemen get 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors and 2 men left on. It's still 4-3 Harwich. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Fuller Family Foundation is proud to support the excellent sportsmanship and character of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
The Sacred Cod Tavern at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa, a quintessential New England dining experience for lunch or dinner, a proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Welcome back to the Gatemen Baseball Network. This is Claudia Chikamian, the sideline reporter. So we've been talking a lot about Justin Montgomery, and the Gatemen did not get the outing that they wanted or expected from him. They sent Noah Zavalis to the mound, and that's exactly what a good thing for the Gatemen. He has a .87 ERA entering today. He's a great guy to go distance, especially when Montgomery didn't go the length that they wanted him to go. He also leads the team in strikeouts for a non-starter, which is also something the Gatemen desperately needed, as they only had 1 strikeout in the first few innings of today's game. So we've talked a lot about Montgomery, spent a lot of time in the pregame talking about him, and rightfully so, but even though he didn't have a good outing, Noah Zavalis was a perfect guy to send to the mound to try and keep this game close. Back to you, Jacob and Connor.
Thank you very much. It is the bottom of the 5th. Gatemen trying to work their way back into this one. They're down by just 1, 4-3. Jacob Toby alongside Connor Federico.
Yeah, Kobe Vance is the batter to start off this bottom of the 5th inning, and he's been great. A couple RBIs, base hit, 2 base hits actually. Started that first inning that gave Justin Montgomery a lot of trouble.
And now before a pitch is even thrown, Anchia will go out to talk to Zavalis.
Yeah, Zavalis just sort of gave him the finger wag. Hey, come on over. We need to talk about something. And you have to trust anytime that happens, it's of importance.
They settle it fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Everyone's all set and ready for the bottom of the 5th. Gatemen get 2 runs in the top half of the inning. Zavalis' first pitch to Vance runs inside. Harwich gets 3 runs in the bottom of the 1st. They get 1 more in the 3rd. Gatemen come back with 2 in the 5th after 1 in that first inning as well. This one rocketed foul on the ground down that 3rd base line.
Zavalis has struggled a bit coming in relief in the 3rd and then in the 4th, but still has been a scoreless outing for him. And that's what we sort of expected out of Zavalis. He really can come in for you and give you long relief outings.
Longest he's gone this season has been 3 innings of work. 1-1 pitch. Chopped in the box off of Vance's leg. He's been valuable, Zavalis has. The Harvard product. Standing 5'11", 210 pounds, throwing from the right side.
You know, and comes into this game, by the way, having a sub-1 ERA, .87. That has since gotten better since this outing has begun. 2-strike count now. He's really dangerous in these situations.
Voss is 1-2. Cut on and missed. Vance goes down swinging for out number 1. That strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard.
See ya, Kobe Vance. That was a high-heat fastball, and I think he was probably expecting Zavalis to go with maybe a curveball out of the zone or a high fastball. Instead, that one's like right over the center of the plate, and I think Vance was just sort of stunned by the location and sort of the go-at-you attitude of Zavalis.
Cameron Simmons takes ball 1, 1-0. Simmons, a Virginia product, an all-ACC second team this past season. Batted .352, 9 home runs, and 57 RBIs with a .995 OPS. Takes strike 1. Coming into today, Simmons batting .226 on the Cape, but he's got a couple RBIs, and he's 2 for 2 with a stolen base.
Spent some time with Harwich dating back to the 2016 summer, so has a bit of Cape League experience.
1-1, chipped, and a diving play made by Baird, but it won't be in time. Didn't even throw down to first. Simmons reaches with a single.
Yeah, smart play by Baird there. It was just too soft of a ground ball up the middle that neither Duran nor Baird could get to it. And, you know, holding on to that ball is a smart play. You don't want to cause a throwing error and let Simmons get in scoring position when really he doesn't deserve any more than a single.
Verdon flew out to center field to end the first. Popped out to Baird at shortstop. Was more over towards second base, kind of robbing Duran of his flyout. This one sent to the backstop for strike 1 on a foul ball.
Yeah, Zavalis is so good coming out of the stretch when he lets runners on base. Opponents have a 176 batting average or less when he's on base. And when they're in scoring position, he's even more lights out.
0-1 to Verdon is low. This Mariners team, managed by Steve Englert in his 14th season at the helm. Harwich had a fantastic season last year. 1-1, runner goes. Simmons down to second. The throw is in time. And Chia gets in on the action. He throws down to second base and gets Simmons for out number 2.
See ya, Cameron Simmons. You're trying to get in a scoring position, no dice. And Jake Anchia showing off the arm right there. Simmons got a pretty good jump, and Zavalis throws in the fastball, and Anchia throws in a really good throw right on the money to second base, and covering the bag there, Ben Baird. Really great play.
Now 1 balls and 2 strikes is the count to Jamie Verdon. Zavalis, one more pitch, he gets out of the inning. Here comes the 1-2. Inside. It was close.
Well, I mean, the situation there just totally changes for Zavalis. He throws a 1-1 with a runner on first and 1 out, and then suddenly you're up 1-2 with 2 outs and nobody on. Great work by Anchia helping him out.
Infield playing on the edge of the grass. Here comes the 2-2, whiffing at it. And going down swinging is Verdon to end the inning. That's the second strikeout in this inning, brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard. So the Mariners get no runs on 1 hit, no errors, no men left on. They still lead it 4-3. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
All-Star Game Weekend starts with a celebrity softball game on July 21st at McKeon Park in Hyannis. Come watch Jason Veritek, Bill Lee, Nancy Kerrigan, Scott Zolak, and other celebrities play ball in support of the Cape Cod Baseball League and Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital of Cape Cod. Gates open at 4 p.m. For more information and to buy tickets, go to allstarcapecod.org. That's allstarcapecod.org.
Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and for refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod employs more than 50 full-time employees and more than 25 seasonal. Every year, more than 15 college students get great experience and support their education by working at Coca-Cola Bottling of Cape Cod. Reward yourself. Have a Coke.
Gatemen Bats eager to get back in this one. They trail by just one run, 4-3. Jacob Toby along with Connor Federico. And it's going to be Jake Anchia, Jaron Duran, and Ben Baird in the top half of the sixth.
Well, right now, if the score remains the same, the loss would go to Justin Montgomery. And I don't think any of his Gatemen teammates want him to take that L. I think that there's a little added motivation trying to get back and tie this up.
First pitch at the at-bat, swung on and hit just foul into the stands right to our right by Jake Anchia. As Austin Hansen is on for his second inning of work. We are located just off to the right of home plate down that first base line here at White House Field. Second pitch at the at-bat, hit on to India at third. Takes a couple steps and throws over to retire Anchia for out number one.
India is such a great defensive third baseman, making that ground ball look really easy. And she has sent that on a hot shot right to the third baseman from Florida, and it took a little funny hop on him, sort of, corralled the ball, though, right in the belt area and made a good throw on to first base. It's what we've seen from him and the rest of this Harwich defense today. No errors for the Mariners.
Jaron Duran struck out to end the fourth. His last time up. Takes ball one, 1-0. I mentioned Steve Englert last half inning. The Mariners have averaged 19 players drafted per year.
Wow.
Under this man, Steve Englert. He has produced a lot of major league talent. 1-0 swung on and missed, 1-1. And just last year in 2016, 4 out of his 5 starters were drafted.
Wow. I mean, that's just incredible stuff. It's all about player development here in the Cape League, and so many of these guys.
1-1 is low. By starters, I mean his starting pitching staff.
Yeah.
Peter Solomon goes to the Astros at 121. Zach Skellinger, Brad Bass, Packy Naughton all drafted. Their rotation was insanely good last season. The 2-1 is now 3-1 as that sends the dust, the dirt out of the glove of D'Alessandro out into the air. Pavin Smith was their highest draft pick, going 7th overall to the Diamondbacks. Here comes Hansen's 3-1 to Duran, and it's inside for ball 4. And not to mention, this Harwich team had the MVP of the league last year, Ernie Clement. He goes drafted to the Indians.
A lot of great history of baseball here in Harwich and with the Mariners organization. That's why, they pull so many fans out here to White House Field every night, and it's one of the premier organizations in the Cape League. And, beautiful field here, beautiful setting. Sun's finally set. Now it's just lights. No clouds in sight right now.
Jaron Duran's the runner at first. Ben Baird is at the plate. He's 0 for 2. Facing Hansen for the first time, and he takes ball 1 inside on a fastball. Hansen's 1-0. Breaking ball. Missing just a bit high. D'Alessandro tried to bring it back down with that middle a little bit.
Almost like an ephus pitch. It was such a high breaker. You really got to be careful you don't leave that one too high in the zone. Thankfully for Baird, it was just high.
Make sure to stay tuned after this half inning. We'll be hearing from Claudia Chikamian on what's going on around the Cape. 2-0 pitch is in for a strike. I'm sure there's a lot going on, as there always is every single night.
There always is.
Except last night, only 2 games due to rain.
Well, tonight it seems like everybody's playing.
2-1, swung on, hit back foul, out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Verdon, the first baseman, holding on Jaron Duran at first, and for good reason. He's got wheels.
Oh, yeah.
2-2. Swung on and missed. It was a breaking pitch. Down to second goes Duran. The throw is not in time. Duran was caught stealing in the second. This time, he's in safely.
Same thing with Stephen Kwan. Caught stealing in the first and then steals a base in the 5th. Now Duran caught stealing in the 2nd, steals a base in the 6th. He decided to go as soon as that ball hit the dirt, and it ended up being a good call by him. Another strong throw by D'Alessandro behind the plate, but just, you know, every second matters in terms of everything in baseball, but especially in trying to catch runners stealing, and Duran just got his hand in just in time.
Duran with his 8th stolen bag of the year. That'll bring up Nick Angelini. Of course, Baird struck out on that last play. Hansen's first pitch is swung on right to the second baseman. Burt throws to first. Retires the side. No runs on, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on. The Gatemen still trail 4-3 to the Harwich Mariners. Now let's send it over to our girl, Claudia Chikamen. What you got?
Thanks, Jacob. So first of all, Yarmouth Dennis beat Brewster 2-1. They scored in the top of the 9th inning. It was an RBI single from Alfonso Rivas to score. And now they take the lead over, and they have they are now in 2nd place in the Eastern Division with that win. Now let's head over to Cotuit. That game is over because of darkness, and Orleans takes that one 5-1. So Orleans just extends their lead a little bit in the East as well. Now over, and the rest of the games that are in action right now are all very close. Falmouth and Hyannis are tied in the bottom of the 9th. They're at Hyannis, so they have the chance to score in the bottom of the 9th and walk it off. So we'll keep a close eye on that one to see what happens as that game rounds out. And then over in Bourne, they are also tied with Chatham at 1, and they're in the top of the 9th. So Chatham looking to get some runs here before they head over to Bourne, try to prevent them from walking it off as the Braves did Wednesday night against the Gatemen. So that's all we have right now around the Cape. We'll send it back over to Jacob and Connor.
Thank you very much. Back here at White House Field, Jacob Toby along with Connor Federico. You just heard from Claudia Chikamian. Matt Weaselthayer producing tonight's show.
I'm really interested by that Falmouth Hyannis matchup that's tied right now in the 9th. I mean, that's got to be a lot of fun. You know, Falmouth has found ways to prevail in the 9th inning or later. They have against the Gatemen multiple times. And if you're a Gatemen fan, I don't know what you're rooting for in order for them to make the playoffs, because it's, you know, the Gatemen are 1 point behind Hyannis and 2 points behind Falmouth. You don't want Hyannis to keep winning, though. That's definitely dangerous. That's the team that's been in the cellar all summer, and you sort of wanted to keep them there, but now you're the last place team unless the Gatemen can mount a comeback and Hyannis loses.
Matt Vierling takes ball 1 from Zavalis. Zavalis has pitched 3 innings. If he gets through the 6th, it'll be his longest outing of the season. Also, if Hyannis wins that game, they jump Falmouth in the standings, which would happen for the first time this season. Strike 1 to Vierling. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Just a couple of days ago, we were talking about how the Gatemen were tied for 3rd, and now they're in 5th. And, God, the West is just bananas.
Seems to be a little bit more calmer here east side. This one on a line to left, and Vierling in for a base hit.
Well, the only calm thing about this East Division was that Harwich was just continuing to lose, and now that has totally changed. I mean, if this score holds, they'll win their 3rd straight game, and that should give some teams like Chatham and Brewster in the East a bit of a scare.
Max Burt will step in with a runner on first and no outs. In the bottom half of the 6th inning, a 4-3 ball game here at White House Field. Glad to bring it to you on the Gatemen Baseball Network. Only thing wrong with tonight, it's about 65 degrees, a little bit chilly side. Broken bat, watch out, it goes on the infield. Kasser grounds it and now throws it over the first baseman's head. He got the out at second base. Duran threw it over McIver's head at first. Watch out, broken bat shattered.
Interestingly enough, Jaron Duran might have been a little more shook by that broken bat than Kyle Kasser was, who had the ball and the bat hit right at him. Kyle Kasser, though, does a great job of turning that play onto second base and getting the lead runner. But now there's a runner in scoring position for the Harwich Mariners, and, you know, here's your interesting tidbit on Noah Zavalas. He has not given up a hit this summer with a runner in scoring position. How crazy is that?
Pretty loco. Duplantis stepping in, and Zavalas looks back. The runner at second steps off the mound. So Harwich trying to add to their one-run lead here. Certainly not enough against the Gatemen offense, which has been better today. Strike one, thrown to Duplantis.
Well, yeah, the Gatemen, this has been one of their better offensive performances. You have 3 runs through your first 6 innings, but right now it's not going to be enough. You need to find a way to put 4 on the board, which they haven't done since that 9-9 tie at Falmouth on Saturday, last Saturday.
6 days ago.
Jeez.
It's been a while as Zavalas steps off the mound again.
I mean, but to the Gatemen and their fans' credit, you got to love what the pitching has been doing.
They've done their part.
Yeah.
It's safe to say that. The 0-1 pitch showing bunt was Duplantis. He pulls it back. Ball was in the dirt and blocked by Anchia. No advancement from Burt over there at second base.
Yeah, good block by Anchia. I mean, you know, Duplantis was trying to bunt, and Burt was halfway down the second base line, you know, second to third base line over there. So he almost took third. He could have had it if he wanted to.
Burt is on second because of Jaron Duran's errant throw over the head of Willie McIver. Trying to turn that double play. See if it haunts the Gatemen here in the 6th inning. And now Zavalas is going to talk to Anchia. Didn't seem to be on the same page.
Third time in this at-bat, he's stepped off, either to look over the runner at second or to, you know, maybe he just doesn't have his signs right with Anchia right now. That's the most important part of baseball, knowing your signs. And, you know, Anchia, Zavalas, both very smart guys, but just get on the same wavelength here.
1-1 pitch is outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Yep, know your signs. I'm a Pisces.
I am too a Pisces. So you and I would have been great on the mound and behind the plate. What do you throw?
Does that make an automatic connection?
I have no idea. I mean, I don't think I'd throw anything more than a 60-mile-an-hour fastball.
2-1. Swung on and missed. Zavalas fooling Duplantis there.
Maybe 65. Maybe I'd get like a 2-seamer to about 60, 62, 63. Other than that, I don't know what I'd throw. I'd get shelled in this league.
After 3 pitches, I'd break my arm and fall off. Hasn't done that motion in years. Zavalas' 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Hit on to the second baseman, Duran. Throw over to first. Get the second out of the inning. Burt will head on over to third.
For the third time today, Duran puts away Duplantis on a 4-3 ground ball. And D'Alessandro, he's reached base twice today, also has a ground out to Duran. And he's 1 for 3, and he's dangerous. He's scored a run in this game, too. Zavalas would really like to keep that hitless streak with runners in scoring position alive. Looks like he wants to go out of the windup with the runner on third and nobody else.
See how that works out for the Harvard product. Steps off the mound. And reset.
Yeah, it's a buggy and a cold night here in Harwich.
And he steps off again.
Yeah, I really think he wants to talk to Anchia. Anchia's staying behind the plate, though. Maybe there's a certain amount of meetings you can have in an inning.
First pitch from Zavalis sails in for strike one. Yeah, it just did not seem that they were on the same page right there.
Yeah, I mean, right now it seems like they're pitching backwards to D'Alessandro. That first pitch was not a fastball. It was like a breaking pitch.
There's the breaking ball, but a little bit low.
Yeah, I think maybe Zavalis is a little confused by the signs Anchia is giving him. I don't know. Either way, you know, Zavalis has to do what he wants to. Trust your catcher, though, in the process.
Here comes the 1-1 to D'Alessandro. Same pitch, same spot. Missing for ball two.
Well, when is the fastball going to come in this at-bat? I mean, it's, you know, Zavalis, he clearly has a process, and that might be to try to mess with D'Alessandro's eye and timing.
2-1. There it is, 2-2.
Well, you throw those other curveballs down low for balls, I guess, just so you can sneak a 2-1 fastball right down the middle to him.
Right down the pipe.
Yeah, I mean, nothing D'Alessandro can do about that. You haven't seen that fastball yet. Not going to be able to time it correctly. Now, Zavalis has a ton of options.
2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs and a runner at third. Here comes the pitch. Is sent foul off to the right and out of play.
Yeah, good fastball there. But better swing by D'Alessandro to foul it away, even though he was way late on it. But Zavalis, he looks clearly bothered by the bugs out there. It seems like he's sort of trying to wave him away, try to brush him off his body with the glove.
Here comes Zavalis' 2-2. Framed by Anchia, just a bit outside.
Yeah, just a bit low, too. I think Zavalis wanted that call, but just didn't get it. Now this is a pitch you need to make. You do not want to face India with a runner on third.
Full count with 2 outs and a runner at third. Here comes the pitch. Lunged at, sent to right. Pompey has it. Retires D'Alessandro to end the inning. No runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 man left on for the Mariners. They still lead it 4-3. You've been listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Cape Cod Baseball League is all about family, and it's all about fun. Friendly's is all about family and fun and is proud to sponsor the 2017 baseball season. Friendly's, life with extra sprinkles.
Baseball Factory, a proud partner of the Cape League since 1991, holds over 600 events nationwide for players ages 8 through 18, including 3 training weeks here in the Cape. Baseball Factory alumni have played on every Division I college program across the nation, plus 400 have made it to the majors. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn how you can build your way to greatness.
Curry College offers 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams in sports such as football, baseball, softball, basketball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, cross country, and volleyball. Read about the success of the Curry Colonels and their championship teams. It's all online at www.curry.edu.
White House Field, the site of an East vs. West matchup tonight. Jacob Toby along with Connor Federico. 4-3 lead for Harwich. And the Gatemen bats trying to come alive here. It's going to be the top of the order, Stephen Kwan.
Yeah, Kwan, definitely a guy you want leading off this inning. 2 for 3 today, stolen base, caught stealing, and a run. But man, he's such a catalyst at the top of this lineup.
Shows bunt, pulls it back as the first pitch was outside for ball 1.
Never a bad idea to show bunt on that first pitch. Bring in the corners of the infield.
They come in just as you say. Second straight fastball up and away.
And, you know, the key to that is you bring them closer and then you can drive one by them.
Third fastball at the at-bat. This one in for strike one.
But both of Kwan's singles in this game are high chopper infield singles to the middle infield.
The 2-1 sent out to right field. Going back is Simmons. He will make the catch just in front of the wall. And Kwan maybe thought he had a dinger.
Yeah, that was the furthest I think we've seen Stephen Kwan hit a ball this summer. Really close out there. In right field here in Harwich. It's about 330 out there to the foul pole. Where he hit that ball, you probably needed 335 to get over the fence, and he hit that ball about 330. So, I mean, all very close.
Tanner Dotson takes ball one. Yeah, he was trying to hit it out to that Curry College sign. All the banners out in right field on the fence. Hanson working quickly, delivers the 1-0, and it misses.
But it's only the 7th inning. That is not the approach you have to have. That one swing can tie up this ball game. The approach you want to have is getting on base and letting the guys behind you do the work.
Hanson's 2-0, sent right past Sean Callahan, the first base coach for Wareham. Tried to grab it barehanded, but couldn't do so.
Tanner Dotson looks really eager to hit in this at-bat. 2-1 count right now. He'll probably be looking for something to drive the other way.
And he breaks his bat, and the pitcher, Hanson, falls when he throws it. Threw it right to the ground, almost did a split. And Dodson finds himself on first. Grass might be a little wet out there.
Well, yeah, it might be a little wet, but also, I mean, that was just sort of, you know, not human normal motion activities that Hanson wanted. I think the smarter play there would have been to let your third baseman, India, field the ball and use his momentum to throw it on a first. Instead, he's actually running towards the shortstop position because he initially let the ball get by him, and then you try to, you know, turn and throw at the same time, and he just throws it straight into the ground.
Dodson is at first, and Kasser swings and misses for the first pitch at the at-bat. Kasser is 1 for 3 today with a single and an RBI.
Yeah, he's the guy you want at the plate right now. Certainly capable of keeping this inning going.
Swings on the second pitch, sends it foul out of play to the left. He's down quickly, no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, but even with 2 strikes, Kasser is totally capable of getting a base hit or whatever you want out of him. Tanner Dodson, you might see him in motion with 2 strikes.
1 out in the inning. Harwich up 4-3. Hanson's 0-2. Bounces on a breaking ball blocked by D'Alessandro.
Kasser's such a good teammate, just putting up that stop sign immediately, telling Tanner Dodson, hey, D'Alessandro blocked this one. Stay where you are or else you're going to get gunned down too.
Hanson working very quickly on the hill, turns to first. Dodson dives back safely.
Yeah, it looks like Hanson doesn't have a lot of composure right now. He's really just trying to throw pitch after pitch as quickly as possible. Maybe that's just how he operates.
Hanson's 1-2. Ring him up. Called strike 3, says Rick Emerson. Kasser down looking for out number 2.
And now this inning is in the hands of, the very capable hands, I might add, of Willie McIver. 0 for 2 today, hit by pitch. He is a guy that maybe with the swing of a bat could change this game right now, but I think what you want is just a couple singles and try to advance Dodson however you can.
McIver was plunked his last time up by a pitch. Takes an off-speed in for strike 1.
Yeah, I think McIver saw the spin of that ball, saw off-speed, and just wanted to lay off on the first pitch of the at-bat, but, man, that was right down the heart.
This one on a liner, hits the ground to the Smith. He goes to second base. to retire Dodson. And that will end the inning. So the Gatemen get no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and no men left on. And we are off to the 7th inning stretch presented by Eastern Propane and Oil, proud to sponsor the Gatemen with locations on and off the Cape. Gatemen still trail at 4-3. You've been listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
The Wareham Gatemen and the visiting team, the Cape Cod Baseball League, and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation and positive support of the participants and officials. Profanity, racial or sexist comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from this ballpark.
Want to hear more about today's game, players, and breaking sports updates? Then download the free Next Radio app from the Google Play Store and tune to this station. It's live. It's local FM radio wherever you go. The Next Radio app. Get it today. Visit Stars Restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa for a world-class dining experience. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Hey, Noah Zavalis, says pitching coach Jim Lawler. You want to stay in for another? Of course I do. He's in for now his 5th inning of work as we're back here at White House Field, 4-3 in favor of Harwich.
I like that little role play you just did.
I mean why not?
Give me a nice Coach Lawler voice.
Well, you know,
almost.
I don't know.
And
it's
by
tough.
almost not at all.
His voice is just very distinct.
Yeah.
So I would love to see you try.
I won't.
Exactly. I have the courage to try. India swings at the first pitch, sends it foul. But really, Noah Zavalis on for another inning of work here, the longest relief outing for a Gatemen pitcher this season.
Yeah, and he's been solid so far, hasn't given up a run. The Harwich Mariners, by the way, have given up, have gotten a hit in every inning so far through 6.
India takes strike 2.
3 hits in the first, 2 hits in the third, and other than that, you have 1 hit in every inning. But Zavalis has done a good job shutting the Mariners down when they come close to scoring.
Oh, 2 pitch from Zavalis is low, 1-2.
Yeah, this is the dangerous part of the order for Harwich. India, Smith, Vance, all with singles today.
1-2 on the ground. Kasser ranging to his left, throws to first, and in time. Nice play from the Oregon product over there at third.
Kyle Kasser, so solid defensively. Really makes a nice play right there, moving towards second base and delivering onto first. Making a good throw. Willie McIver stretching out to make the play. India might be in the 3 spot. He might be a corner infielder, but has plenty of speed.
Josh Smith, a LSU Tiger, stepping to the plate, taking strike 1 from Zavalis, teammates with former Gateman Cole Freeman and
Kramer
Robertson.
Yeah. You know, follows a Florida Gator in this lineup after just battling it out in the College World Series final.
0-1 up high. How does that feel?
Can't feel good. You know, we were
for one of them.
We were talking about Jaron Duran and looking in the eyes of Brett Canine, that Long Beach State, Cal State Fullerton rivalry.
1-1 is sent up, shallow left field. Actually, just on the infield, on the edge right there. Ben Baird, the shortstop, makes that catch for out number 2.
I mean, and that was just in a super regional against your one of your biggest conference rivals. You know, how about losing to one of your most hated rivals in all sports? You know, Florida, LSU, such a great rivalry in the SEC. And they meet in the College World Series final and get swept. India's Feeling pretty good about that.
Vance takes ball one as it bounces to the plate. Remember to email pressbox@gatemen.org if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the broadcast. Follow the Gatemen on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud. We've got all action covered 24/7. Chopped in the box foul by Kobe Vance. No Twitter poll tonight. Matt Feld slacking.
Slacker.
Gives me a funny look over there. He knows what I'm talking about.
You know, there's only so many things you can ask the fans.
There are. That's true. 1 ball and 1 strike to Vance. 2 outs in the inning and a 1-0 lead for Harwich. Strike taken.
We should have our watchers/listeners start emailing us Twitter poll ideas.
Hey, you have the email, pressbox@gatemen.org. Send us any ideas you want. For a Twitter poll, the 1-2. Bounces off the chest protector of Anchia once more. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're open to all suggestions.
About anything.
Yes.
We just want feedback.
Email us. Reach out.
The Montgomery family has, and other than that, we haven't heard from anybody.
It's pretty sad. Last year we got multiple emails every home game. Every game at that. 2-2 pitch from Zavalis. Duran coming in on this one. Throws it to first. And the side is retired. 1-2-3 go the Mariners. They can't score, but they still lead it 4-3. You've been listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
The Wareham Gatemen would like to thank Franklin Sports for their sponsorship of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Franklin is yet again proud to be the official batting glove of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all 10 Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves, courtesy of Franklin Sports. To order your favorite team's design or to create your own, visit franklinsports.com/custom. Enter code CCBL20 for 20% off your purchase. From Cape Cod to the major leagues, only the best hitters in baseball wear Franklin gloves.
We march on the Gatemen Baseball Network, top of the 8th. Gatemen still looking for that run to tie it up. They trail it 4-3. Thanks for joining us, Tristan Pompey. We'll start it off at the plate, taking ball 1 from Austin Hansen.
Both of these switch hitters tonight, both Tanner Dotson and Tristan Pompey hitting on the left for all of their at-bats.
1-0 becomes 2-0.
Pompey hasn't done much since that RBI single back in the first. That was a positive step for him.
Pompey grounds this one to the first baseman. Verdon took a nasty hop, flips onto his pitcher Hansen, gets the job done. 1 gone.
Yeah, good play on the right side of the infield by Verdon and the pitcher Hansen. Yeah, you said that really nasty hop. It just suddenly changed places on Verdon, but had the good instincts to keep it in the infield, keep it in his glove, and get the first out of the inning.
Jake Anchia is 0 for 3, was probably robbed of a hit back in the 4th inning.
I'd say so.
Matt Vierling makes a nice play out there in left, and Anchia takes strike 1.
Hansen's done a good job since coming in for Cole Aker. Hasn't given up a run.
The 0-1 swung on and missed. No balls and 2 strikes. Talking about and Chia being robbed. I feel like we've seen a lot of amazing plays out in the outfield this season.
Oh, for sure. Some great diving catches.
By both teams, not just the Gatemen.
Oh, yeah. Tanner Dodson has shown off with his arm out there.
0-2. Painted on the inside part for strike 3, and there are 2 gone in the 8th.
Well, now you have Jaron Duran up, who is 0 for 1 with 2 walks today and a stolen base. You know, the Gatemen, they can get things started with 2 outs, even when the 2 guys are retired pretty quickly. It's up to that 3rd guy to keep the inning going, maybe bring up Hanson's pitch count a little bit, frustrate him, and, you know, then you have Ben Barrett on deck who can do some damage. Nick Angelini has a double in this game.
Duran pulls back the bunt, takes strike 1. That's got to be on his own, correct?
Yeah, I mean, he wants a single right now, and bunting can get you singles, especially when you have his speed. He's got such a great move out of the box. Every time he swings, he's sort of starting that run to first.
Pitch is low in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's Ichiro-esque, I'd call it. Not as dramatic, not like softball players where they're basically running and swinging at the same time, but he brings all his body weight over towards first base.
Second pitch in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike.
That's why he gets such great jumps. That's why he's considered one of the fastest players in college baseball. You know, he can take bases on you. He's got great awareness on the base path.
2-1 is sent foul out of play to the left. Count now even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. With 2 outs in the top of the 8th, the Gatemen trailing the Harwich Mariners 4-3 at White House Field. 2-2 pitch. Whiffed at and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts by Austin Hanson to end the inning. And the side is retired. No runs on, no hits, no errors, and no men left on. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Gatemen, they still trail 4-3 on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Did you know that Baseball Factory has partnered with the Cape League for the past 17 seasons? Baseball Factory is your resource for top-notch baseball training. With over 600 events nationwide for players age 8 to 18 and over 100,000 college success stories, you too can build your way to greatness with Baseball Factory. Visit baseballfactory.com to learn more.
It's back. The 2017 Friendlies Cape League All-Star Game will be played at Spillane Field, home of the Wareham Gatemen. Mark the date on your calendar, Saturday, July 22nd. Game time is 6 p.m., but the gates open at 2 p.m. One highlight will be the home run hitting contest. There will also be an autograph session and a large merchandise village with items from many of the teams. Be sure to buy your tickets now right here at the merchandise stand. Tickets are just $5, and part of the proceeds will support our Wareham Gatemen.
The Sacred Cod Tavern at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa, a quintessential New England dining experience for lunch or dinner. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
That's the end of Noah Zavales' run. 5 innings.
Wow.
Whoa.
I mean, he really did a great job coming out of the bullpen. Like you said, the longest relief appearance we've seen out of a Gateman pitcher this season, and Zavales just did a great job. You know, similar to what Joey Matulovic did, throwing 4 scoreless the last time the Gatemen were at Harwich Field.
So coming on for the Gatemen will be Aaron Hernandez. This is his 2nd appearance of the season. He's going to face Cameron Simmons to start off his outing. Throws a fastball up high for ball 1. Hernandez pitched on July 7th versus Chatham. Second pitch outside, 2-0. He pitched 2/3 of an inning, let up a hit, and struck out a batter.
Well, he let up a hit that scored 2 runs. Neither of those runs were charged to him. They were inherited.
Strike one thrown by Hernandez.
So he hasn't been great in the clutch, but we have not seen him in an appearance where, you know, it's his inning, the bases are cleared. It's all up to him.
2-1 was a breaking ball hung. Diving play made by the shortstop. Baird throws to first. Got him. What a play from Baird over there at short. He retires Simmons, one gone.
What a play by Baird, and, you know, he's the guy that's going to lead off the top of the ninth for the Gatemen, so maybe that'll give him some confidence going into his at-bat coming up. What a great play. I mean, just diving in between that gap between the third baseman and the shortstop. Really hard hit ball by Simmons, and he's just retired in time.
Jamie Verdon, the first baseman, is 0 for 3 on the night. Flew out to center field. His first time up, takes ball one. Also popped out to Baird at short. Struck out swinging to end the fifth. Hernandez throws strike one. 1-1 is the count. So Hernandez gets nice defensive play from Ben Baird for out number one.
Yeah, really big help by Baird. That would have been a hit for most other players.
2 balls and 1 strike now is the count. Hernandez out of Texas A Corpus Christi. Just finished up his sophomore season, but did not pitch in 2017, was ineligible. Ball outside, now 3 balls and 1 strike. In his in his sophomore season, had a 4.58 ERA. This one sent back. Foul, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Good job working this count back full. Really taking his time there out on the mound. Wants to make sure this pitch is right with 2 strikes, 3 balls.
Gets the signs, winds, kicks, and deals. The 3-2 inside corner. And Verdon is going down with the strikeout. Nice job there from Hernandez. That strikeout brought to you by the law offices of Lang, Exafaris, and Bullard.
Yeah, only the 5th strikeout of the game total for the Gatemen. Courtesy of Aaron Hernandez. Really good pitch. Fights his way back into the count. I mean, this just as easily for Hernandez could be runners on first and second and nobody out, but he's gotten some help with the call and from his defense.
Matt Vierling takes strike one. Again, Vierling made that nice play to Rob Anchia of a hit back in the 4th out there in left field. Comes up with 2 outs and his team up 4-3. The Mariners over the G-Men. That pitch is inside for a ball, 1-1. Hernandez collects the signs, fires. This one sent out to center field. And a 2-out base hit for Matt Vierling, his 2nd single of the day.
Yeah, great performance tonight by Matt Vierling. 2 for 3, has also drawn a walk. Hasn't come around to score for Harwich, but maybe the Mariners hoping that could change right now with Max Burt up, who's also had a good day. And, you know, right now you're just in the business of scoring some insurance runs. That would really help you hold off the Gatemen in the 9th.
Max Burt is 1 for 2 on the day. Runner on first base. And the first pitch at the at-bat taken high for a ball.
Yeah, Hernandez going fastball on the first pitch. Just deals a little bit high. Burt's got a great eye. He can really do damage. Pulling the ball opposite field.
The 1-0 is taken for the 2nd ball at the at-bat.
If you don't retire Burt right here, you've got the top of the lineup in Duplantis and D'Alessandro coming up next. So with 2 outs, you'd really like to make Burt the last hitter you see.
Hernandez takes a quick look over at first base, delivers the pitch. Snap throw down to first by Anchia. The tag is not in time, but close.
Yeah, smart play by Anchia. Just trying to throw behind the runner Vierling, who had way too much on that secondary lead to be considered safe.
Here comes the pitch. It's low for a ball. 3-0.
You know, we've seen Willie McIver do that several times this summer, but he's standing on first now.
Count is actually 3 balls and 1 strike. The scoreboard was not updated. Three-one is low for ball 4. Burt chucks his bat, heads down to first, and it's first and second with 2 outs. Anton Duplantis coming up.
He might not have a hit today or have been able to reach base, but Duplantis is for sure dangerous. Not a guy you want to mess with. And now the LSU Tiger has 2 runners on. Lefty facing the righty Hernandez. This is a good situation for him.
Vierling at second, Burt at first, Duplantis at the plate, and swings at the first pitch he sees into shallow right center field. Coming in is Angelini. He makes the catch to retire the side, so the Mariners get no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on. A 4-3 game in their favor here on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Registration is now open for the 2017 Wareham Gatemen High School Clinics. These programs are run by the Gatemen coaching staff with a focus on exposing high school area players to the college game. To sign up for either the hitting, pitching, or catching camps, visit www.gatemen.org for more information.
The 99 Restaurants has 9 real-size entrees for only $9.99. They're big, hearty portions you can count on all day, every day, like their hand-breaded crispy fish tacos with cilantro lime rice. The 99 Restaurants, proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
All-Star Game weekend starts with a celebrity softball game on July 21st at McKeon Park in Hyannis. Come watch Jason Varitek, Bill Lee, Nancy Kerrigan, Scott Zolak, and other celebrities play ball in support of the Cape Cod Baseball League and Spalding Rehabilitation Hospital of Cape Cod. Gates open at 4 p.m. For more information and to buy tickets, go to allstarcapecod.org. That's allstarcapecod.org. We head to the 9th. A 1-run lead for Harwich over the Wareham Gatemen. 4-3 lead. Jacob Toby alongside Connor Federico. Pitching change here. It'll be Logan Browning for the Harwich Mariners. And a lineup change for the Gatemen. Ben Baird's night is done. Robbie Metz coming in.
Now batting for the Gatemen.
Well, Metz, he has the experience. He has the batting average you want right now in this situation. Thought he was going to get the night off, but he'll bat in this critical spot in the order.
So Metz will get ready. Justin Novak is the new second baseman for the Harwich Mariners. And Max Burt heads over to first, so Jamie Verdon's night is done. Metz finally steps in to face the lefty Browning. Swings at the first pitch, but cuts right through it, 0-1.
It's such a difficult thing to do, come off the bench after being cold all night, and in the top of the ninth, you lead off an inning, especially against a pitcher you haven't seen.
0-1 is outside for a ball. This is the third appearance for Browning. He's only pitched 2 innings, has a save, and has struck out 3. 1-1 is sent foul down the right field line and out of play by Robbie Metz, the pinch hitter for Wareham here in this 1-run game. It's 4-3. Harwich trying to tie up the season series. The Gatemen lead it right now 2-1. This will be the last time these two teams face each other.
Yeah, the last time we come to White House Field this season, come to Harwich.
1-2 to Metz. Is sent out to shallow left center field. Coming in is the left fielder Vierling, and it will fall right in front of him. Gets it in quickly, but Metz is aboard with a pinch hit single.
Well, that's what you expect out of Robbie Metz. He's going to do his job, and his job was to get on base to lead off this inning, the top of the ninth for the Gatemen. Pinch hits for Ben Baird. Just gets under that one a little bit, but just enough that he can sneak it in behind the shortstop and in front of the left fielder Vierling and the center fielder Duplantis. Great piece of hitting, great work with a 1-2 count, and he does what he needs to do.
So Metz was a pinch hitter. Now John Topa comes in for Nick Angelini and will pinch hit as well. Angelini finishes his night 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored. And now John Topa comes to the plate with Robbie Metz at first base and no outs here in the ninth. Topa showing bunt, pulls it back. Third baseman India was just basically in front of home plate in on the infield.
This is some sort of weird crashing system that I've never seen before in terms of fielding bunts. Right now, the third baseman India came more towards the pitcher's mound. Topa puts it right down the line. Nobody's going to be there to get it.
The 1-0 in for strike 1.
Well, you know, you have the third baseman India right now all the way in on the grass and then some. That inside pitch would have been great for Topa to pull down the line and got right past him.
Browning looks over the runner at first. Topa shows bunt again, pulls it back as the pitch was inside. D'Alessandro, the catcher, is up and ready to throw down at any moment. Didn't do it that time, but could see he was thinking about it.
So it seems like the third baseman India is betting on that Topa will not be able to pull a bunt to down the line. He's going to hit it right back up the middle.
Browning delivers the 2-1 to Topa. Topa sends it on a line right to the shortstop. They flip to second for 1, to first for 2. And just like that, the Gatemen are down to their final out.
Well, all of that just for John Topa to ground into a double play is really tough. I mean, he got good contact on the swing. Just unfortunate, you know, he hits it right back up the middle, but at double play depth, that's exactly where the shortstop Smith was. He might have been able to catch that on a fly, the line drive towards his ankles, but decided to let it take a one hop so he could turn the double play. Great awareness. And yeah, you just said it, the Gatemen are down to their final out.
It'll be up to Stephen Kwan, who's had a successful night. He's 2 for 4. Browning's first pitch. Breaking ball in for strike 1. Kwan pulled the bunt back. Maybe thought that was a ball, but nevertheless it sails in for strike 1. Kwan batting from the left side. And now the Gatemen are down to their final strike as the count runs to 0-2. Browning trying to finish it for his second save of the season. 0-2 to Kwan. It is a breaking ball. Will just head off the padding of the catcher D'Alessandro right to the backstop, 1-2.
Great effort by the Harwich bat boy going all the way to the opposite part of the diamond.
1-2 pitch. On the ground. Novak at second. Has it. Throws to first. It's in time. And that will do it. The Harwich Mariners beat the Wareham Gatemen 4-3 here at White House Field. And now the Gatemen have lost 2 straight ball games.
Tough break for the Gatemen tonight. You know, you get that runner on to lead off the bottom of the top of the 9th inning, rather on the road, where you won here 9-0 the last time you played. And they just can't get it done tonight. Tough outing for Justin Montgomery. Didn't get all the help from his defense. And that's sort of been a theme, that loss at Bourne and that loss today. There was some trouble with the defense.
So the Gatemen, they lose it 4-3. And we'll see what happens with the other games around the Cape for the standings. As of right now, the Falmouth Commodores are up 6-3 over the Hyannis Harbor Hawks in the top of the 11th.
No, they love the 11th, don't they, Falmouth?
And then the Chatham Anglers are up 4-1 on the Bourne Braves in the bottom of the 11th. Whoa, baseball going long tonight. Some finals. YD wins over Brewster 2-1. Orleans beats Katuitt 5-1. That one goes 8 innings. Who's your player of the game, bud?
Noah Zavalis. I mean, he almost went 5 scoreless. I think it was just 4 2/3. Got himself into a little bit of trouble, inherited a little bit of Justin Montgomery's mess, and just kept the game close for the Gatemen, which is all you can ask a pitcher to do when they come in a losing situation. The Gatemen just don't get the run support. They fail to score 4 runs in a game now. We've talked about early in the season, that number 4 being a solid point for the Gatemen. If they can get to 4, they're going to win the game. They can't get it tonight for the 6th day. I mean, tomorrow will be the 1-week anniversary of when they scored 9 runs in a game. And other than that, we've been waiting for the offense to break out.
Been starving for offense. Wareham Gatemen will be trying to bounce back from this one. They are now losers of 2 straight. They lose this one by a final score of 4-3. Thank you for listening to this broadcast of Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. The general manager of the Wareham Gatemen is Andrew Lang. The producers of today's broadcast are Nick Veronesi and Matt Wieselthaler. Our sideline reporter and host is Claudia Chikamian. Special thanks to our beat writer, Maddie Feld. The next broadcast of Wareham Gatemen Baseball will be tomorrow as the Gatemen travel to Katuitt to take on the Kettleers at Lowell Park. The game starts at 5 p.m. Our coverage begins at 4:30 with Gatemen Pregame Live, presented by South Coast Health. For Connor Federico, I'm Jacob Toby. Thanks for tuning in to this presentation of Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network.